It's done now. I think we've scared all the...
we lost all our chat people?
Yeah, I think they're there. They're just not talking.
Good,
anymore.
let's get started. Welcome to the Carousel, turn 101. I am John Newsom.
101, bitches. I'm Joey.
Way to go.
Yeah.
I'm Scott.
Hi, I'm Susie Spector. Welcome to the podcast. I'm the only one that doesn't have a penis.
My God.
Or
you should
Emma.
Okay, you need to catalog, well, not that part, but catalog the voice, because that was like ultimate voiceover voice.
That was good.
I am Susie Spector.
I'm seeking
Do it.
career
Come on.
in
Come on. That was awesome. Do it again. Again.
I don't want to do it anymore. Thank you for calling Southwestern Bell.
At the Carousel, we talk about movies, games, and literature.
Literature. And Grimlock.
Specifically, fuck the other Transformers, just Grimlock.
Yeah, pretty much. That was what was wrong with Michael Bay's movie.
No Grimlock.
Okay, seriously, that's loud. Stop.
I love it. You're fucking with his toy. Did you see that shit? Yeah. He made an excuse, but that was his toy.
She bought it for me. It doesn't matter. So
now, just for whatever, just to derail this for a second, he used to be able to do a Grimlock impression.
What?
I remember at the house one day, back when they were talking about Transformer movies, and you were wondering if they're going to do Grimlock, and I forgot who he was. Grimlock, who the fuck is that? And then you were having to explain it to me, and you had a Grimlock impression.
I could quote a bunch of Grimlock lines.
You used to quote it all the time.
Yep.
Which is not
Meet
appropriate.
Grimlock, no bozo. Meet Grimlock King.
You know what? That would be awesome.
We were talking about foreplay earlier.
Yeah. This is during the role playing.
Oh.
It's like the tiny arm.
You know, and I just realized
my arms are too short to reach.
So we're just going to skip to it.
But it can at least get to the hips.
Someone needs to call.
Oh, wow.
I have a big head.
I think.
Please just shoot me. Please.
I think someone needs to go on an infinite vacation.
Really?
That's the first topic.
We're aware of your.
Just accept reality.
Oh.
Get with it. What?
He said we needed to go on. One of us needed to go on an infinite vacation.
I'm on an infinite
Lord
vacation
Tab
right now.
Yep,
Yes.
Lord
Tab.
Joey Tabs.
Yeah, I'm high as shit. But it's legal. I have a prescription, I swear.
Yeah, it's not something you should talk about on the internet.
No, I do. I have
I
a
know,
prescription.
that's fine.
I'll show my bottle. It's somewhere around here.
We don't want to see your bottle, dude.
Okay, so I started reading the book called Infinite Vacation, and I don't even know if I can describe the plot to
you were talking about robots fucking on that one thing.
Right. This is infinitely weirder than that.
Who
How
wrote
can
it?
This be weirder than
I don't know what this. I've never read anything that this guy's ever written before. It was a book that came out while I was working at Wizards, and I was always like, that looks kind of Philip K. Dickian. And so I was like, I want
to. You should have called it Philip K. Dickish.
Dickish, yeah, that's better. Scott,
he just
that's
revealed the name of his crap.
my favorite sexual position.
Your cosplay game with your wife.
Yeah,
oh my God, Philip K. Dickish. That should be like an adult friend finder user ID.
I don't have any good jokes for that. I'm trying to.
Philip K. Dickian.
Yeah.
So Lauren, tell me about your mother.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's how he starts it.
Yeah, we do void comp tests for each other.
Wow.
I try to measure her pupil dilation during different acts. It's great.
Oh. Do you see what I have to put up with? Like, seriously. You know what's sad is apparently it worked.
No, that was good. I really like that because all I can think is blush response, you know. Going, really?
So you're having sex with a man and then suddenly he kills a puppy. How does that make you feel? Anyway.
Okay.
You should buy a snake for a pet just to complete the joke.
Yes, of course. A mechanical snake. Shit.
Okay, so Philip K. Dickish book.
Okay, well it's called Infinite Vacation. Image puts it out.
Minutes.
It's a book of it's in the future and
The future.
But they've unlocked the tech, like they've basically proven the multiverse theory. And they have perfected the technology to travel between different multiverses, but you can only travel to other versions of you that have a 99% similarity to you. But so you basically they've set up like this eBay where you trade with other versions of yourself for each other's lives using money. And you have to wear this little "Hello, my name is blah blah blah" tag that shows that you are a visitor that has traded lives with somebody. And basically,
this already sounds weird and awesome.
It is really weird. And it's this guy named Mark that goes around, and he's obsessed with trading lives. And it can be as simple of a thing as you trade for the life where you remembered to bring milk home. Or you trade for the life of you when you're president of the United States of America. Like it's literally that gamut.
You'll never be able to get that guy to trade for the one that remembered your anniversary.
Right. Though. Yes, that one's probably really expensive. But it's about this guy Mark who is obsessed with it. He trades more than the average person. He trades like 2 or 3 times a day. He'll switch lives. And
Jesus, how is he funding this?
He's really good at selling, getting in certain spots and selling the life that he's at, to other people to get funding for his
probably
mini
just taking
trips.
a crowbar and whacking all the other dudes over the head when they're stained.
Now we've descended to the prestige.
Hey man, what's up? Here's the steak.
One of the things that I really like about it is he has a therapist in it, and his therapist is himself. Like he goes to everybody goes to a therapist that's themselves in the reality where they became a therapist, because nobody knows you better than you, right? So that's one of my favorite parts.
Oh, that is actually really
so
good,
weird.
but oh shit!
Like
really
your tech,
disturbing.
I would fucking hate that guy.
Your like your tech support is you too.
I just picture you going, "Shut the fuck up, let me talk for a minute."
Going, the hair every time, really?
Millions of possibilities in this hair every time.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought this book.
But the other fun thing is your tech support for your world jump technology and everything like that. Your tech support guy is you also, because they figure you can't get mad at yourself. You can only get so mad at
bullshit.
yourself. But
if I was doing my own tech support, I would be totally okay with that.
Clearly, the goth movement has been eliminated.
Yes.
The communication thereof would be fucking fantastic. Dude, it's ridiculous trying to do tech support, especially with people who are like, "Hi, I'm this high-functioning, high-powered person that makes more than 6 figures a year doing all this crazy stuff with machines." But I refer to things as thingy. Or they're like, I'm like, getting reamed at my last job about this guy who's like makes literally probably $4 million a year on average on a low year. And he's like, "I can't get to my internets. I had all my internets on this line," and you push it, and then you go to the thing. I'm like, "Oh,
right. And all my tubes are gone."
Yeah, pretty much. And I literally got written up and in trouble because this guy had a reimage and didn't know what favorites were. And I was like, "Well, I can help you fix them." And he's like, "No, I want them back right now." I was like, "Sir, this is a new computer. It's not going to be the same as your old one." "Why?"
Because it's not.
For fuck's sake. Just, God, why do you have your job? I want
Magic
your
it
job.
up, techno wizard.
No shit. Although that would actually be really handy, though. I think not getting mad at yourself is really kind of not part of it. But by God, communication about the tech problems would get by so quick.
Faster.
Yeah, because there'd be a lot of dude.
Oh.
Dude.
Oh shit.
Yeah, going and you kind of calling, going, fuck, you going, oh that?
Yeah.
That again? Shit.
Shit.
Okay, so have you?
Did you let Scott fuck with this? Maybe.
Oh, did you try? No. Okay, bye. Yeah, that would be the whole conversation.
Pretty sure my conversation would be high. And we just wouldn't talk.
No. And then you'd be like, okay, I know what to do now.
That's because you're extra creepy sometimes. You just be like, "Hey, friend."
Basically, this guy, Mark.
Every one of your universes you have. Oh.
This is why I love you.
But this guy, Mark, something weird's happening where like 1 trillion of his other selves have been systematically killed off by something.
Oh,
and so he's trying to run now away. Like several of...
Man, someone who's really good at killing.
So somebody somebody's coming after him. So 3 versions of himself: the nudist version of himself, the redneck version of himself.
Wait. Okay, nudist and the what
the
version?
hacker version of himself.
Nudist hacker, and what was the middle one?
Redneck.
Oh God.
From when he almost moved in with his stepfather in Alabama, but didn't. Like that's the choice that made him a redneck.
Oh,
but,
wow.
So those 3 versions of himself pop up into his life, and they're trying to hide him somewhere because they know something crazy is happening with all the marks.
That shit ain't right.
Pretty much. But so they go to hide him in, they call the slang term for them is dead enders, but it's these people that have a moral problem with people switching lives and believe that if there's infinitely many universes, there has to be one universe in which there are no other universes, and that's the one that's the real universe. And so they believe that you shouldn't, like, God created one universe, so you should be switching out. So they try to hide him in this dead ender cult. And he finds this girl that he's really into, but is a dead ender, so he's not really sure about her, and that's where the story takes off from there. But there's a lot of really fun and weird shit.
So many hang-up, really shitty, like, pickup lines.
I have so much other stuff I'm supposed to be reading that's more technical, but damn it, I really want to read this.
It
on
has
the concept
really awesome
alone.
art, and one thing that's really fun about
there's
it too.
art in it too, like.
Oh well, it's a comic
pictures?
book.
Yeah, really. Well,
it's art
he
too.
says book. I just kind of wrote it off.
Like pictures.
Yeah,
Yay.
No, it's a comic book. The art's
I was
really
gonna say,
great.
fucking bonus.
Yeah, so it's short. It's a quick read. There's only 6 issues.
Oh,
of
see,
it.
I just assumed it was an
I like
actual
to say
book.
No, so it's there's only it's a really short series. There was only 6 issues of it. One thing that's really fun in it too is they will have the brochures from the company, and they're all actual people, like they're photos, and they look like little corporate brochures of people with comic bubbles talking to you about the technology and stuff.
That is disturbing.
And then the Dead Ender cult also has a brochure in one of them that talks about like their theories and stuff.
Yes.
It's a really fun book. It's interesting. I like it.
Oh, this sounds
so far.
fantastic.
I think I'm 3 or 4 issues in, so I'm getting closer to the end. But
okay, I'm gonna have to go
It's
find
exciting. I have a new job, and I can't talk about it, but the one thing I do like is the fact that it's basically like the Umbrella Corporation everywhere I go, and there are so many things too in my job that remind me of Fallout. Like, I just seriously expect to see those little posters of Pit-Boy everywhere, and every now and then I'll just be like, oh my god. And it was really bad during my orientation. We were going through these tunnels that go under a city, and I was all like, you're all going to die down here, really loud, and the trainers were like, don't ever do that again, please. Like, 2 of them had really bad claustrophobia, and they're just like, you're sick. You're sick, man. Every now and then somebody will be like, do you have any lotion? I'm like, yes, try Regenerous. And they're just like,
man, if I ever owned like a company at all or anything like that, it would be really hard for me not to do Cave Johnson style like recordings that just play throughout the building at different times.
Yeah.
God.
But
That'd be fun.
You're on the new experiment with the Mantis Men. You'll know when you see them.
yeah.
You have one over the toilet. Is it going down smooth? I don't really know where to go with
people
that.
all the time. I'd be like, hey guys, I made this new coffee. I mean, I brought some new coffee. Why don't you all try it? No, you have to try this. Or you'll be fired.
This one only washed their hands for 12.5 seconds. Don't you know that to get all the dirt out, you have to sing Happy Birthday twice under the fountain.
Anyway, so
that's awesome. Yes, I love that. Wow, John just killed all the momentum on that one. I don't know how that was what did it, but yeah.
It did, though.
That was good shit.
I used to know someone who was like that.
Yeah, that was like, you have to sing Happy Birthday.
Yeah.
The only thing worse is if they actually, Happy Birthday, dear somebody.
They probably
just start
did.
crying when they're doing it. Like,
But I mean, imagine walking into a public bathroom and finding some dude washing his hands softly singing Happy Birthday into the sink.
That's like something I would do.
That's actually kind of weirdly beautiful and horrifying.
Oh.
See, I'm the kind of person, I don't remember what comedian said it, but I am literally the dude that's like, everyone's like, oh, that's the, well, besides the fact that I'm the weirdest person in the office, the second weirdest person, they'll be like, everyone's like, dude, stay away from him. You know, he's like the creepy meat suit guy. And I'm like, hey, meat suit guy, you're my new best friend. Here's a Snickers. Let's talk about
Don't kill me
video
when
games.
you come back through the office.
Like, when you come back and you're spraying everybody, do me a favor. Remember the Snickers.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
So, anything else to say about Vacation?
Nope. It's a weird book.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Let's hear something else.
It's all I
weird.
ever wanted. John's been listening to this ridiculous, freaking, crazy Spotify, it's like song
Bring
list.
up my Spotify.
Oh,
He's calling
vacation.
It's similar to that, yes.
Go-Go's.
Yeah, the Go-Go's. That's
my brains are
She's
going.
gonna make fun of me for listening to trendy music.
No, that and the fact that, seriously, I walked by, I knew that he was sad the other day about that gentleman that passed away because he was listening to the most random shit that I'd ever heard come out of this room, and I was just like, what the fuck's going on? It's like a mixture between early 90s rap and stuff like that. And then like weird, Justin Timberlake things were happening. And I was like, I think John might be on drugs.
Early delirium and followed up by Tech 9.
Ryan Davis has a Spotify account with like a 300 or 400 song list thing on it that's all like, half of it's really obnoxious music, some of it's real fun, but
it was very disturbing.
I enjoy it. I find new stuff on it every time. But anyway, forget all that. Susie, how about you tell us a ghost story?
What? Oh.
Oh, no one is on the ball for his segues.
You can either tell us a ghost story or tell us about some of the side jobs you've been working.
Ooh, side jobs is easier to talk about.
I was going to say I wanted to talk about Ghost Story, and then as soon as he wrote it down, I was like, man, there's not really a whole lot of shit you can talk about.
You can say it was good.
It was good.
Yeah. Did you like it?
I liked the end.
Yeah.
Because
Next one's real good.
Because it ended.
Well, no. That's why I was like, okay, good. So nobody's going to die. That was the one thing that I wanted to talk about at least about that book was the one that was narrated by
Smallville dude.
Yeah, and like everybody was
Oh,
really
that
pissed
guy.
off about that. And yeah, it was very different because it wasn't James Marsters, but I think that he did a really good job.
See, I just couldn't see past his non-James Marsters.
I know, and everybody was, but then again, I have listened to like, the entire Hunger Games series on Book on Tape, and like some of those books, like I can't even get past like the first couple of chapters because whoever's narrating it, you just want to stab them in the eyeball.
yeah,
It's like,
she
oh
wasn't
my
very good.
God, but see, that's what ruined me on Harry Potter. I could never read those books because Fry, freaking
Stephen Fry.
he narrates the
It's
whole
so
series.
good.
I can't even like
I
watch
think-
the movies without thinking about him.
I think part of the reason I love Little Big Plan is since he narrates
Yeah.
that.
Yes, it's just epic stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
But anyway,
Oh, he's naturally given to narration anyway, though.
I loved watching Stephen Fry did America or whatever, and he just goes across the United States, and he's in Florida, and he's like really pissed off. He's like, I hate it here. He's like, what? That's not even a real tree. And he's like, what is this place? It smells. And he just goes on this like hate rant as he's driving through Orlando. And then he gets up into
it is
Maine.
Orlando.
He gets into Maine and stuff, and he's like, oh, this is so much better. It's pretty funny.
I love that. Oh, it's dark, dreary, not warm at all. I like it here.
Well, it's really funny, too, because he's like, yeah, I don't remember where he was. I think he was in New York or something, and he was talking about how he was pissed off because he broke his foot. And then he's like, now I'm going to pick up a friend. And you can tell that he's all on drugs or whatever. And then Sting just randomly gets in his cab that he's driving. And he's all, like, ducked down with his hat. And he's like, hey, man, how you doing? He's like, hey, man. He looks like this creepy, like, flasher. Like, druggy. It's, like, with his coat and everything. And they're just hanging out, driving around New York.
Well, I mean, it is Sting with his 3-hour orgasms, so
Mr. Tantrum.
don't rule that out.
So you're going to talk about...
No.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to talk about...
Okay, so anyway. Side Jobs was really interesting and cool. It's part of the Dresden Files, I guess. I wouldn't say... I don't know. It's basically like a collection of short stories that was written throughout up until Ghost Story, I think.
It was everything. I think it has the first Dresden story he ever wrote in it.
Which is creepy because he talks about how he was doing that for a Oklahoma City like school project, and I was like,
I think he went to
you've never been
OU.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he haha.
Oh, Stephanie's old boss is actually like best friends with him, and it drives me crazy because I'm like, just talk to your boss and just have him come down.
I
for a
know,
while.
right?
Really
Let's just visit It'll
all
be
the time.
fun. Well, yeah, like I
And
know
I'm just
some
like, I
people
just want to
that
talk to him for a little while.
I know it's physical therapist. Like I just think
So
it's
really,
great, though.
we've got the beginnings of an entire cyber stalking project.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course, yeah. Make it all creepy and stuff.
Yeesh. Yeah. Okay.
I already have one of those going. Anyway, Side Jobs is really fun because it is sort of like those things where each one of them has this tiny, tiny little foreword, and he's talking about how, like, in different parts of him, like the person that wrote True Blood, I can't remember her name.
Oh, the Ziggy Stackhouse stuff.
Yeah, Charlene something.
Harris.
Yeah. She, like, he talks about how he does all these collaboratives with all these other artists to do, like, short stories for other books that they do.
Yeah, those big collaborations. She was doing an anthology of short stories, and she wanted him to write something that was
and they all have a theme,
wedding based or something.
Yeah,
like
one of them. The first one was wedding based, and then the second one was honeymoon. But it's crazy because I never thought about it, and I really, really liked Side Jobs a lot because there are perspectives of characters, some of which I can't even name, depending on where you are in the story. But it would be like, instead of it just being about Harry, it would be about some other character where they're actually, like, there's one where it's the main character is one of the other integral characters in the story, and it's just his perspective.
Yeah.
And there
I liked the Just Murphy story too. Yeah. That was really good.
I'm actually on that one.
That one's really good.
And I'm also...
It's kind of weird to have him write a female perspective because he hardly ever writes...
Well, but it's Murphy.
Yeah, but it's Murphy,
so
she's only
not
half
really...
female, right?
What is it? Tiny but fierce.
Tiny but fierce.
Oh my God, I loved... That's one of the things I liked in Ghost Story is there's a part of it where it's describing her doing a sparring match with... a Viking, like, Valhalla warrior.
Yeah, one of
the guards. Yeah, well, no,
not one of the Valkyries,
the dude version of that.
Okay.
Yeah, and he basically, like, she just starts beating the crap out of him, and everyone's like, oh my God, and, like, she's, like, breaking his face, and she does something to his hand, and it breaks all his fingers, and then people start getting scared because they don't know what's going on, and he gets up and he's like, good job, this time you broke all the fingers in my right hand. And she's just like, satisfied. And I was like, yep, that's Murphy. I love her to death.
See, I have a very deep love-hate relationship with that character in general. Like, I love her, but she drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah, well, yeah.
At the same time. And I know she's written to be that way, but...
But I understand, no, completely. And one of the reasons I like Side Jobs because instead of it, like... Harry is this character that's always... I mean, he's what I call an urban wizard as far as... He's the kind of guy that's like... In the first book, within the first 2 chapters, he's talking about making a speed potion. And he puts, like, Coca-Cola in it, and he shakes it up in, like, a plastic bottle. And he's just super ghetto.
Bottle.
Yeah, he's, like, extra ghetto.
I like the love potion that has a $100 bill ripped up in it, and tequila shots, and...
yeah, like all that stuff. It's just
perfume
funny.
And
oh, come on, he's just using the $100 bill for the cocaine remnants in it.
Probably.
It's just funny because he's not like super ornate. He's not like Dr. Orpheus. It's like, oh.
I really like their approach to wizardry in that it's very
He kind of looks like a creepy mountain man hobo.
Yeah.
Like when he walks around, people just look at him like, oh, what the fuck's wrong with that guy?
Did you like the Mac story? The story about the bartender?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a bartender.
I love
It's
Mac.
one of my favorite characters in the book.
Mac is one of my favorite characters. Well, actually, the story that I wanted to talk about and the reason that I really love this book is besides the one story, which I can't talk about the character, but there's a comedy. He talks about how in a portion of it, he was asked to write a short story for one of those anthologies or whatever that was comedy. And he was like, how am I going to do this? And then he's like, yeah, I often feel sorry for Harry and all the things I've put him through. And by sorry, I mean I feel bad. And by bad, I mean I'm gleefully giggling as I'm, fucking up his life, basically, is what he's saying. But he writes this, it's Harry's day off, basically.
And that one was good.
Oh, my God. It was too funny. Like, I could not stop laughing the whole time, which was really creepy because I was at work listening to it with my headphones, and every now and then I'd be like, and everyone's like, oh, God.
Yeah, I hate that about listening to audiobooks.
I get lots of free Snickers back.
I like it. You're the new alpha creep in the room.
Pretty much.
Nice.
But yeah, no, it was really funny, and it's really worth it. And it is narrated by James Marsters, who occasionally sounds like he's really, really tired.
Yeah.
In this one, he's just like, I'm going to narrate.
I really don't want to be doing this.
No.
I should probably be taking a nap.
But yeah, I liked it a lot. It's totally worth listening to. The first story is a little bit hard to get through, but the rest of it's fun. And Ghost Story was the bomb diggity, and if anyone wants to talk about it, feel free to hit me up, because you.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will talk about so many
John
things.
wants me to stop so bad, and I just have this horrible itching desire to continue on until the ends of time.
Well, I've been reading the New Mutants.
The New Mutants?
No segue at all.
Or they're just the New Mutants?
The original New Mutants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the original.
The
The old
Claremont
New
ones.
Mutants.
Okay.
Is this the old New Mutants?
Yeah, this
And
is
then
the
there's
old New Mutants.
I don't think they have a New Mutants.
No, they had a New Mutants. I call it. It's not officially titled New Mutants, but they had the New Mutants. New Mutants.
The
series
newer mutants.
That was newer New Mutants.
No, I went originally because I started reading.
Shit.
Jesus Christ! You're just getting all the weird descriptions that just like compound.
Or
tonight.
tap.
I started reading like a lot of the old X-Men.
We need to do this more often.
Uncanny X-Men stuff again, kind of where I left off.
We should give you alcohol.
Oh wait.
Mutual enhancement. I'm helping. I'm helping.
It's like putting a tech manual in front of Scott and being like, let's inject this thing of meth into his mind.
Okay. So, I know you guys haven't wanted to talk about what you want to talk about, but I'm going to talk what I want to talk about. And I want to talk about New Mutants.
Okay.
So, I have been
So
reading...
who are the newer New Mutants? No.
Wow, don't make me mute you fuckers. I will goddamn do it.
Cool.
So I was reading like a bunch of Uncanny X-Men stuff, and they finally had enough crossover stuff with the New Mutants where I was just like, fuck it, I'll read this. I don't think it's going to be that great. And it's a really good series. Like, I'm about 30 issues or so into it. Like, the first dozen or so are just kind of good and kind of, it's old, but it's bearable kind of way.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot of those old comics from that era.
But around the story arc where the Spirit Bearer line shows up, which is also where when Bill Sienkiewicz, I think is his name, starts drawing it, fucking-tastic artist.
Did you say Spirit Bear?
Yes.
Okay.
One of the
I wanted
characters...
to
No, he
clarify.
really did say that.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, no. One of the characters, Danielle Moonstar, is Indian,
Yep.
and her parents were killed by a spirit bear. That is not the most absurd thing that happens in this series.
That's,
Like, we could
just
talk
thinking,
about-
That's really fucked up.
Like, the more fucked up part would be, like, Magma, who joined the team recently, who is actually from a Roman Empire settlement in South America hidden away.
Wow.
Basically, they go to Brazil
What?
because Sunspot's dad is a douche. And
Yeah.
That's a good enough reason to go to Brazil.
yeah.
Yeah, going, fuck that.
So they go in search of his mom, who's an archaeologist, and they wind up getting shipwrecked and wake up in a Roman gladiatorial place where Cannonball and Sunspot get hopped up on gladiator drugs and are told to duke
Sweet.
it out. And
it's just coca leaf.
who is it? It's Rain and maybe Danielle Moonstar Stone, whatever her name is. They always call her Danny, but anyway. That's beside the point. That's in the first 15 issues or so are just kind of okay, but then it gets just like really, really good once Bill starts taking over the art. And I'm really worried because I know he only draws the series for a couple years, so I don't know if the quality is going to go down or not. But so far, for one, the majority of the time, the majority of this team is females. Two, almost like they're just now putting more white people on the team. Like, this was a very multicultural group for a long time.
Yeah, which was really ahead of its time when you
Yeah.
figure the period, because that was, what, about 85?
It had to have been between like 80 and 85, because this was before the Jim Lee takeover of the X-Men series. This was before, I feel like this was before X Factor started.
I thought you were going to say X-Fart.
I did do.
I almost did. I
X-Fart.
almost did. But this is
That would be inappropriate etiquette, sir.
I don't like
That'll never get old.
Warlock showed up and he's a fun character. You get a lot of really interesting character development with Magneto because this is where he really this is when he becomes a good guy, Magneto. And so he's kind of searching his soul for, well, maybe taking over the world to give mutants a better life isn't the only answer.
Sorry. I was thinking about Ian McKellen's naked, hairy old man ass.
Okay.
As you often are.
Wow. See, now I vaguely remember the conversation that led to that.
Well, no.
Otherwise, I'd be weirded out by this.
I'm
I
sure
saw
she is.
Ian McKellen in King Lear.
Yeah, you've told
That
the
was it.
story at least a dozen times on the cast.
It's a traumatic experience.
You've reached your quota.
Yep.
And
old man balls.
Ian McKellen looks nothing like Magneto. So.
No, not really. No, he doesn't at all. He played a good Magneto, I thought.
Yeah, no, he did. I personally like the guy, I think you posted him, who did the Baby Got Back, Ian McKellen.
That's why I was thinking about that.
Yeah, Hunter Davis.
He's good.
Yeah, now the thing is, I've noticed though is that his impression isn't actually Ian McKellen; it's actually Gandalf. Specifically to it's because Ian McKellen doesn't always sound like that. He actually graveled up his voice for the Gandalf part. He doesn't always do that. I mean, you look at like X2.
You should just go to the Carousel and look for it. And
it's on the Facebook.
It's really funny.
The beginning is what made it for me. I was just when he said, "Oh my God."
Becky, look.
Oh my God. Well, it was the fact that he pasted out. There's, oh my God, Becky.
It's like a Ian McKellen Shakespearean reading of Baby Got Back.
Exactly.
And it's amazing. Even his facial expressions are just...
Yeah, he's been doing that shit for a few years.
Crazy.
And it all started with him doing the DuckTales theme, spoken word. And then he moved on to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He did Popeye. But he actually ate a can of real spinach, and he barely held it together. He's like, oh God, oh dear, and he like leaves, gets it, fucks off. And
so John was talking about something.
But no.
Who cares?
I was going to say, it doesn't even matter now.
I actually think it holds up today. I think it's a really well written. Granted, it still has...
What was Claremont?
The one thing you have to forgive from it is just in that time, they were constantly doing text info dumps on you because they wanted you to be fully caught up with whatever you were reading.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of stuff you can skim. But once Bill Sienkiewicz starts drawing it, it gets really good. And on top of that, I can't even spell the man's
probably
name.
Chinkowitz.
I just say it goes cute.
It's Sein and then something else.
Oh.
But it's funny because I went and found him on Twitter and tweeted him that I just started reading this and that I thought his art was fantastic. And then some other guy who turned out to be an author from nothing I've read, included me in the tweet and him and started talking about that. And I talked with him for a minute. And then Chris Bacalo, freaking Marvel artist, started tweeting us. And that's when
John kind of had a nerd, he sort of nerded out.
That's when I stopped being able to reply. I was like...
You're like, okay, this is too big for
There's this Chris Bacalo, okay, he's not my favorite artist. He's not even maybe an artist that I'd put on a list of artists I think are the best, but I own a lot of the man's comics. And they are very serviceable. So
he ain't never going to tweet you again now.
Serviceable.
He's like, well, he's okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's probably watching right now going, that motherfucker!
We were going to
be best friends.
I was going to have him over for barbecue. Claremont was going to be there. Fuck him.
We were going to make Pineapple Express too.
Oh, shit.
Truth be told, I can't 100% place his art style in my head. I need to go look it up. But he drew Ultimate War, which was the X-Men Avengers fight back when the Ultimate Universe was
I actually liked that art.
I remember liking it quite a bit, and evidently he wrote a couple issues from the good side of Ultimate X-Men too, but I don't remember the issues. But I'm fairly certain he's drawn a lot of things I like, and it's a name I recognize.
If he did Ultimate War, then he already wins with me because I remember that and I liked it.
And I'll tell you something else. The Bill guy, he also did the original Moon Knight series. A lot of that.
Yeah.
Ha!
He has that almost.
That actually took some planning.
He had some almost paint. He has almost a painting kind of a watercolor style to it.
Okay, I got to give him props then because Moon Knight, I never could quite warm up to him because it was obviously they were trying to do a more zen version of Batman, but they went to a lot of trouble to come up with that character and equip him with shit that would be semi-plausible.
I like the crazy version of him better.
Yeah, that is actually fun.
Well, and honestly, I'm going to go back and read this series now just because I like this artist so much, and he has drawn so little. He did Sandman, Endless Nights, which that one I've read, and I can't remember what else. He's done a ton of covers. Oddly enough, I have more covers by him without realizing it, because it said he did a bunch of Transformers covers. I'm like, I already know which ones these are, because they're the weird painting crazy ones that. were on the original series. But anyway, but now it's After Dark. And something else. I don't know what this is. What's After Dark and who's talking about it?
Wow.
So I recently saw After Dark, which is I don't remember when it came out. But it's a vampire movie with...
No, 85 or 86.
Probably 86. It came out... It was a bunch of people...
Let me go look it up.
I was going to say, it's a bunch of people from Aliens who are in a vampire movie. And it was filmed apparently in Oklahoma.
Oh,
and it was also based... It's really funny because it's like, what was going on in that time. It was like aliens and Lost Boys and all the things. So, Forever Night. But this movie was epic because it had...
What was this called again?
After Dark.
After Dark. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking for...
The guy that played the android in Aliens.
Fuck, I'm going to look it up by him.
Bishop.
Lance Henriksen.
The reason I wanted to tell the story is because the friend I was watching it with told me a story that apparently he was method acting, like before the movie came out, and he's like the leader of this little vampire nest group, and they're kind of redneck, which is a little kind of funny to me. But he had on these big acrylic claws, and they were in Vegas or something, and they got pulled over by a cop. And so he has
As opposed to not a cop.
Like, well, whatever.
I don't know.
Well,
Shut up!
It's Nevada desert. Don't fucking rule it
I'm
out.
saying,
true.
Sir. Douche. Anyway.
I'm sorry, I had the name slightly wrong. It's Near Dark.
Near Dark.
And it was 1987.
I can't.
I actually saw it, but it's been ages ago.
There's like breaking... What is it?
So did what you see was called After Dark?
No, she saw Near Dark.
Okay.
We were on the right page. We had the name wrong.
I don't know. I see lots of shit.
Lance Henriksen's character's name?
Giving him names is dangerous.
You know shit. I forgot his character name was Jesse Hooker.
Jesse Hooker. Nice.
Bill Paxton's name was just Severin.
Severin?
Yep.
Okay, so he has a mullet in this, and he has sort of like the little hanging down earring. Anyway.
The bar scene with a spur.
I know this movie.
Bishop is a vampire, and apparently he was method acting and doing like training or whatever himself for this movie. And when he gets pulled over by this cop, apparently, while the cop was going back to his car to look up these people, who obviously he should have known who they were anyway, he went out of his vehicle and got up on the back end of it, all crouched over, sort of gargoyle-ish, with his claws hanging out. Because apparently that's what vampires would do if they get pulled over for speeding.
That's what I do when I get pulled over for speeding.
And it's like, okay.
So are you trying to say you're a vampire then, or it's just what you like to do anyway?
I'm just pissed off about getting a ticket.
You'd be like that nerdy vampire on what is it? It was Vampire Diaries. There's this one vampire that all he does is go to college. They're like, what are you going to do with your eternity? He's like, well, so far I've got like 17 doctorates and like 15 other, and they're like, dude, really? College forever? And he's like, I like to learn things.
I like learning.
I could see you being that guy.
Jesus Christ, he's a career student.
And then he always has co-eds in his dorm.
Dude, you could take out student loans forever. See? And you would never have to pay them back.
Yeah.
You're right. I hadn't thought about that.
You could just keep going, and they would just keep giving you money to go to school forever.
And then you could be, well, I don't know.
Oh my God.
In this one, they burn in the sun, but if you could get onto a game show, too, man, you would just clean.
Yeah, clean up.
Clean
get
up
on
that
Jeopardy.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Jeopardy, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Hello, Alex.
Are you smarter than
I
a
think
fifth
I'm
grader?
the only person that's on this show that's actually older than
The show's
you.
still on.
Which one?
Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
Nope.
No.
Or if it is, I don't know. Well, I don't know because I haven't given a shit about a game
Wow,
show
they
in
actually,
forever.
that happened.
If it wasn't for Jeff Foxworthy, I'd actually like that show.
So, in the beginning of this movie that I was talking
wouldn't.
about that I totally forgot about, this vampire chick, who's also a redneck, picks up a cowboy at a bowling alley. It looks like the beginning of, or it looks like the end of oh shit, that movie that Mila Jovovich was in, like her first one, where they paint the statues with the kiss faces. Oh my god.
Sure, that.
Dazed and Confused.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize she was in that.
Yeah, I don't like that movie.
Nobody does except Kildy, who's amazing.
No, a lot of people like that.
A lot of people love that movie.
I know a lot of people that dig that movie.
I'm in the minority.
I'm just kind of meh about it.
I've only ever seen it once.
Well, this chick is
I only saw it once.
And I wasn't high.
sort of a creepy redneck vampire, and she picks up this cowboy and decides that she has like a moral, like, I don't know, conscious, I don't know, she's gonna eat this guy, and then she's like, oh, he's cute and nice, and so I'm not gonna eat him. So she just bites him instead and turns him into a vampire and fucks his entire life up. It's like, oh, instead of killing you and eating you like breakfast, I'm just gonna fuck up your whole life.
And now we shall bone.
And now we shall bone.
Eternity.
It's like a metaphor for marriage.
I know. That was stale, but it was good. It was a good one.
Don't make eye contact. Just.
I liked that one.
Hey, he asked me, man. It's whatever.
That's true.
I know.
Nobody said that metaphor had anything to do with him
They're
being
really
the victim.
good. They're really good at the mind control manipulation powers.
They are. They have like so a 5. Like if you like had their Marvel card, like the mind control powers would be like a 5.
It's time for you to go to bed.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's a
No.
Hemlock Grove reference. Shit. Anyway. Oh God. Oh. Anyway. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So, this guy is, well, I think it's Enid or something that they filmed it in, but this guy is like turning into a vampire. He's like, oh no, and he's almost to his house, and his dad and his like little tiny sister, she's like, oh my God, Dad, look, he looks sick, and he's like in his cowboy boots, and he's all like, oh God, I'm burning. He looks like he has dirt coming off of him, but it's like he's burning in the sun. And then Bill Paxton and Vampire Company sort of like pulls around this fucking Winnebago and like scoops him up.
Winnebago.
So awesome.
You're going with us on the road now.
So awesome.
Well, I mean, yeah, hell, the shootout at the bar. That entire sequence is great just because of the fact that they can't deal with the sun, so they do the burlap sack thing, jumping into the van.
The bar scene is so horrible. Like it.
Fuck yes.
Bill Paxton is, oh my God.
Bill Paxton earned some chops on that one just because he played a believable, just creepy fuck psychopath. It's
like a torturous vampire who is sort of rockabilly, goes to a bar and is like, I'm going to pick a fight with every single person in here. And then one of the vampires is like a 10-year-old kid, but he's almost 80, I think.
I forgot about that one.
And so, yes. Yeah, and so he's sitting there like, I mean, literally, Paxton Pyre is sitting there dancing around on like these pool tables, kicking beer and stuff over while people are getting their throats slit like super slow, and and all this crazy shit is happening. People are dying. There's blood everywhere, and this like 10-year-old / 80-year-old vampire kid's like, dude, listening to the jukebox, I'm gonna pick my teeth. Oh, look, something sparkly, and everything is like death and blood everywhere. And I'm just like, oh my fucking God.
That scene,
it's really uncomfortable.
That scene was, yeah, it really was. But what got me, because I for some reason was not prepared for what he did to the bartender.
Oh my God.
Because he pops up and he's got cowboy boots with big nasty spurs, and so this is the first time I ever saw someone ever bother to use it as a murder weapon. And so he just cuts a dude's throat. He's like walking the bar, knocking drinks over and shit, picking fights with people, and that's when shit got serious. Was he started on the bartender, and he just like kicks his foot backwards and just heel kicks him right across his neck, and they did a pretty for 87 really good makeup.
Cutting up his face,
and the guy, yeah.
Ooh, I really like when they try. I'm just gonna call everybody like Bishop Pyre and freaking Ramirez or whatever.
Lance Henrik's Pyre.
The chick that's from Aliens. She is like his mate or whatever, and somebody tries to carjack them. And he's sitting there like, yeah, you better give me your car. He's like, oh, your wife is pretty. And he takes this like hand cannon and he starts like sticking it down her boobs or whatever. And he's like, yeah, you're real pretty. And they're both just kind of sitting there like, oh, okay. Yeah, you can rob me. Why don't you take this car? Because what happens is this guy's like walking on the side of the road and he's all injured and they're like, oh, food. Hey, do you need a ride? And the kid's like, yeah, I need a ride. Oh, I'm going to fucking carjack you. And it's retards. It's so great. It's so amazing. I really liked it a lot, but I didn't get to see the very, very end of it. So I'm sad about that.
It's actually good.
What was the infamous Nick Cage vampire movie where you like
all those Love Bites, wasn't it?
I think it was Kiss of the Vampire Kiss.
Yeah, Kiss of the Vampire.
Love Bites is Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Right? Or no, that's Once Bitten.
Once Bitten.
Oh my God, that
which was actually good.
So wrong.
The Nicolas Cage vampire movie was.
There's a Nicolas Cage vampire movie?
Yes. Go look at
Kiss of the Vampire. Kiss of the Vampire. I've seen it. I watched it years ago, and it was really funny just because the bit where he's having to wear the sunglasses, he jumps on the desk.
Yeah.
Goes, there you are. Well, that voice, he's
oh God.
Oh,
it's so bad.
Yeah. It was so strange because he's such a weird guy, and all he did was channel his weird
into
that
part.
Yeah. And you make him jump up on the desk with fangs and wayfarers, and suddenly it actually is.
It's like, isn't he going crazy or something like that? Thinking he's a vampire, but he's turning into a vampire, and you're not really sure if he is or not.
I never saw the ending, so I don't know.
I can't remember.
Because as far as I was concerned, it was the middle of the night years ago. Had nothing better to watch, and then I fell asleep. So I don't know, because all I thought was it was a slow progression turn. Because he couldn't start having trouble dealing with daylight, wearing the sunglasses, and then he couldn't go out in daylight at all. But that whole thing of jumping up on the desk, I loved that, because it was just like, he's wearing the black suit. Yeah.
Did he jump up and go, I'm the Wolverine?
Oh.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm only...
You're fired. That was the weakest shit ever.
That was pretty bad, John.
I wonder what that popping was. I was like, how am I doing it? Like, oh, it's Susie banging her head on the mic. Hey, wait. I'll do the electrical hum on mine.
No.
Anyone with headphones on?
I hear
it. And probably the people at home.
That's what I'm talking about.
Stop being a dick,
Stop being a dick, Scott. Scott, don't be a dick. Don't be a dick, Scott.
Don't be a Philip K. Dick?
Yeah. Scott, don't be a scat.
Scat.
Joey, tell us about the Wolverine.
All right, I can't believe I'm the only one. I'm the only one at this table that's seen Wolverine, right?
Yes, you are.
You haven't.
Yep.
You haven't.
I actually kind of decided. You know what? It's just not worth it anymore.
I've decided I'm done with the X-Men movies until Vaughn butts the fuck out. Unless Days of Future Past just looks amazing. Which, honestly, I'm at Wolverine overload at this point. I like the other characters in X-Men. Like, whether I like them better or not, it doesn't matter. They should give them the same amount of screen time. Days of Future Past is going to be Wolverine starring saving the X-Men.
Yeah.
If Apocalypse comes back, he'll probably choose Cyclops for one of his horsemen, and then, Wolverine will kill him.
Wolverine's on every team.
Piss on him.
It's like Wolverine's on every team. Didn't you know that? That's
I know.
tiring.
And, like, for them to make a Wolverine movie that's supposed to be the Frank Miller story arc, the Holy Grail of Wolverine, I'm holding it to the highest standard. It has to be pretty close to the comic.
Don't go into it with that.
Well, that's why I didn't go. That's why I did not go.
Like, there's hardly anything that's canon in this. Like, they did a really weird Viper in it. Like, it's really
that's
weird.
the other thing. I really didn't like her tongue in the trailer.
No.
That was weird.
I was all right with it. I mean,
well, I have no idea what you're talking about, so just taking that out of context is just really...
She has a bifurcated snake tongue.
That's awesome.
Yep.
I've wanted one of those for a really long time.
I'm actually kind of all right with it.
Really corny.
The point is, it's like, I didn't...
I've seen a chick who actually had one for real. So.
Then let me ask you about some elements
but they won't let me do it.
Yuriko. She looked like her character actually would turn out pretty well in the movie. Did she?
Yeah, she did.
Do you see her turning into Lady Deathstrike later?
No, you don't.
Fuckers.
Well, no, I just mean, like, do you think in future movies...
Spoiler alert, all of you are totally fucked now.
I liked her a lot in it. I liked her character quite a bit.
I think the question is, does anyone watching really give that big a shit about Wolverine?
Guys,
at this point?
Come on. Let's talk about the subject.
I'm just fine with what she said.
But, I enjoyed it. Like, that really... One of the things I did like about it is you only have two Caucasian dudes and like two Caucasian actors in the entire movie, and that's Hugh Jackman and whoever the fuck played Viper lady. But it was fun. Like I can't even remember reading the Frank Miller Wolverine story arc. or not. I can't remember if I did when I was young or not.
I have it at home
like
if
it's
you
been
want
so I might have to borrow
Fake
it.
Manila.
So it's been so long since I've read it that I can't really. There's not a whole lot of I can say. Does it stick to the comic or not? I'm pretty sure it doesn't. I know Silver Samurai.
I assure you, a lot of the stuff that I've seen already, I know it doesn't. The World War II bits that show up in the ads.
See, like, and it was like I enjoyed it. It was not. It is definitely not my favorite movie ever. It wasn't even by far. I can't even rank it on comic book movies, other than it was leaps and bounds better than Origins. Like, and I kind of feel.
Unfortunately, that's not saying a lot.
No, it's really not. Like, and I feel kind of bad because I swore off Wolverine after that movie. I was like, I'm never giving them my money ever again for one of these, and I didn't. My dad took me to it, so I didn't. I fulfilled my promise, but like it was decent. It was fun to watch. The 3D in it sucks, so don't go to 3D.
There's no Sabretooth.
There isn't.
I don't care.
He's not in the comic.
It made me miss.
He wasn't in there anyway.
Care.
It made me miss Japan a lot. But it was fun.
How about Mariko? They did do at least attempt a romance between her and Logan, right?
Not really.
God damn it.
Like they kind of hint to
that's
kind of a you kind of get the idea that that they have something going on.
I was gonna say because that's actually
really, cause, like, it's
in the comic. Yeah. In the comic, that's one of the driving factors of the story.
Mm-hmm.
That is the driving factor. That's the entire reason he goes to Japan. He's like, this chick I've been falling in love with leaves and tells me to get lost. I'm going to go to Japan to find her.
Well, I say one of because you have the whole other side you have the other side romance and all that, and so I always figure that she is a reason why he's there, but eventually she ceases to be the focal point of the rest of the story, but she damn sure gets it. Her presence gets it rolling.
Ends with their wedding.
I know, but I've got it at home. I've read it over and over. It's just that she kind of she became somewhat irrelevant across the middle two issues out of the four. I mean, not completely irrelevant, but she's what got him there, and then they closed it off. But in the middle, there was so much other shit going on.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, no, they do have a relationship, and I was thinking Mariko was the other girl.
Assassin.
Yeah, the assassin.
No.
Yeah, no, they do have a relationship.
No.
Thank you, chat room. You had like this weird.
Yeah, I switched the two of them.
This weird
up.
face on it was like.
I do that anyway in the comic because their names are like 2 letters apart.
Yeah,
Judiko and Mariko.
Yeah,
but
one of them becomes Lady Deathstrike. The other one becomes head of the Yashida clan. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, they do have a relationship.
Yeah,
and I couldn't really see her becoming Lady Deathstrike at all.
Okay. Mariko's not Lady Deathstrike. The other one's Lady Deathstrike.
The assassin chick.
The assassin chick, yeah, I could see her.
Like in the trailers, it looks like the chick who goes and recruits him is Yuriko. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's Yuriko.
Okay, good.
Huh.
But yeah, they have Mariko and him have a relationship.
Well, Yuriko's like an important element in the comic just because she's so vastly different from Lady Deathstrike later on.
Yeah.
God.
I don't even understand how they did the frickin' personality implants into her later, but that version of her I really enjoy. So.
Oh, I know. But, I realized, though, it was kind of a Batman Catwoman thing in the comic.
Yeah. The other thing I heard, he kills a lot of people in this, doesn't he?
Yes, he kills a lot of people.
With his claws?
With his claws, yeah.
Thank God.
As opposed to not killing things with his claws?
Well, see...
What else would he kill stuff
with? He never kills anything in the movies.
Well, in X3, The Last Stand, he killed everybody in a straight smorgasbord line. In the 4, it's like, straight line running, just stab. Gets shot, throws it back, stabs that guy.
All I can remember...
Jean Grey.
All I can remember is them taking Omega Red, making him Mexican, and making him shoot spikes.
That's,
You don't take a Russian super soldier with adamantium tentacles
make him
a Mexican spike shooter.
Clearly you can. Doesn't mean it'll be a good idea.
One thing I didn't realize either is they made this pretty much a direct sequel to the X-Men movies. Like, the timeline in this takes place after X3.
I heard Jean Grey's in it quite a bit.
Yeah, quite a bit.
See, and she wasn't in it at all in the comic, was she?
No, like, at that point in the comics when that came out, Jean Grey and, like, you had Logan pine after a little bit about her, but nothing had happened with those characters whatsoever.
Way to go breaking shit.
I know.
Like, I'm not even, like, I have honestly don't even know where the whole Wolverine-Logan romance comes from in the comics, because the more I read, the less it exists anywhere.
Well, the ones that I was gonna say those are older though.
I mean,
the ones I read that Kildee had, it made sense. But.
Granted, like I know Grant Morrison went in and he caused something there.
That's Grant Morrison. He causes something everywhere he goes.
But I've only read like 3 of those issues,
and I know they had a lot of that in the cartoon and stuff like that in the 90s.
God,
and,
well, they did. And I also have another theory, because they had a series called X-Men Classics, where Claremont went back and expanded on certain events that happened. And I'm wondering if maybe he expanded on something in there too.
Well,
are you talking about, like, as far as the comics are concerned, like, in the relationship, you don't conceptualize why?
Because
I'm saying, like, there's
comics,
been no hooking up. There's been no making out. There's been no reciprocation of Jean Grey to Wolverine.
Right, because that didn't really happen much back when Claremont was writing it. That happened afterwards. There may have been something prior, but I didn't really read prior.
I know something happens there, because once the Jim Lee saga starts, like after Cyclops and Jean get married, like Wolverine doesn't go to their wedding, but he writes some happy wedding thing in the lawn with his claws.
That's what I'd do.
Yeah, of course.
Because he's
sons of bitches.
He's the deadliest motherfucker on the planet, and he's emo. Yeah. Great.
But also the after credit scene, I'm really confused about.
I spoiled myself on that. I read it.
Don't tell me.
Tell me.
No.
Later. I'll tell you later.
It's
your secret fun.
Just real quick. Airport.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Then what I read was accurate.
Yeah, it is accurate.
So it's a lead into Days of Future Past. So,
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know.
If the way Days of Future Past is going to operate is they're going to take the Bryan Singer X-Men movies and bump them up 10 years.
Okay.
So, and the Sentinels will have taken over and all that, and Professor X and Kenny Pride are going to send Wolverine back into his younger self. And his job back then is going to be to bring Magneto and Xavier together back then to prevent that future from happening.
Okay.
Halle Berry is evidently pregnant while they're filming it. So her role as Storm was toned down, which is probably good because she's a really shitty Storm.
Yeah, she is.
God, and see, it's funny because I always say the same thing about Storm, even though it never had. The only person that I could actually visualize as being Storm is the chick that was in what's her name? Grace Jones, maybe. She was in Conan.
Yeah, that was Grace Jones.
Yeah, and like I just see her being a really awesome Storm.
Actually, the one I always thought of was David Bowie's wife, supermodel Iman.
Yeah, she would have been a good Storm.
You need a very
thought about that.
You need a woman with a very dominant presence. For Storm.
That's Iman. She's actually done a couple movies, and oh dear God. There were some weird rumors back in the early '90s that she was actually a dude, because she would. Trying to work with her as a model apparently was really difficult because she had her own ideas about how shit worked, and she will tell you what in the fuck is going on. How Bowie manages to make that work, I don't know, but they've been together, married forever.
That's just what you need for Storm.
Yeah, that's right.
I am going to see Wolverine eventually, just probably not in the theater.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I was scared. Titus might kill things. He's like, I want to get out, but
we got
I'm
the
too
dog,
fat.
like all concerned about breaking shit. Oh, there he goes.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, he weighs over 100 pounds, and when he gets really excited, he smashes things with his tail.
Well, I'm glad.
Is there a Hulk dog? There should be.
Right there.
Anyway. Well, in the original Hulk movie, yes.
Yeah, that's right.
I had blocked that from my memory.
You want the poodle? We can get you the poodle.
Oh no!
But I'm glad you enjoyed this. I just really want them to reboot the X-Men movie universe.
I do too. I want Marvel to get the rights back.
Yeah. Well, that won't happen.
I know that won't, but that's what I wish would happen.
Well, I'm wondering though if they get too similar to the way Marvel is doing their stuff, with the after credit teases and stuff. If there's gonna be room to like sue them over it.
Well, no.
No, there's
you can't sue over that.
That's not.
Honestly,
there have been a lot of dumbass lawsuits that have actually succeeded in the past.
Swipe to unlock.
Yeah. So I'm like kind of going, I don't know. There might be room for them to do it.
The thing is like
I don't expect Marvel to do it, but if they really, really want it back.
The rumors saying that there's contention between Marvel and Fox. There's just as many rumors saying the opposite, that they love their relationship, that the whole Quicksilver thing, which is them not communicating. Neither of them really care. And, like, if anything, like, I could see Fox being like, oh, shit, they're using Quicksilver? Let's put them in our movie, too, so people will go see our movie thinking it has something to do with the Avengers.
Yeah.
Let's make money. Like, and I think, like, I know the big rumor is Bryan Singer's going to do some big all-inclusive Avengers-like movie for Fox after Days of Future Past, but
yeah,
that's... I've come to the point where I just do not believe it's going to be X-Men Fantastic Four. I think they're going to do a couple other X movies, like X-Force or something like that, and then they're just going to bring them all together for Age of Apocalypse.
I know it's not relevant, but I just want to be like, Justice League.
Well, and that's
still a ways
the
out.
Batman, Superman thing. Gosh, rumors are flying high on that.
Thank you, Phil, by the way, for posting that, because it was freaking hilarious.
Dude, have you guys heard the rumors for who plays Lex Luthor?
No.
Oh no, because I just keep hearing one story, either like who they want for Batman, who they're thinking about for Batman, and then who wishes he was going to be Batman.
Here are the two rumors I've heard. The people in the running. One was Mark Strong, who I think would be all right, and the other, I can't remember the actor's name, but Breaking Bad.
Oh, Bryan Cranston?
Yeah.
Bryan Cranston would be amazing Lex Luthor.
That would be really awesome. Cool. He would be our...
Hold on, I'm thinking
that awesome.
I'm thinking that one through, because...
I realize some people get attached to the idea of the goofy Gene...
God damn, no! Gene Hackman's version?
Yeah.
No.
But, like...
No.
Oh, he would be a great...
Bryan Cranston, you said?
Yeah, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, he would deliver such the perfect, brooding...
Like what he's done with Heisenberg, the Heisenberg character, if he brought that to...
That would be... That actually
amazing.
would work well, because add that whole indignant, I'm a genius, fuck you thing.
He already has that.
Exactly.
Well
he wouldn't even have to modify his delivery that much.
All he'd have to do...
He'd have to add highbrow.
Yeah.
All he'd have to do is never really be a wuss in the Superman movie.
Exactly.
But
it would just have to be all Heisenberg all the time.
Like
all Heisenberg all the time.
And there's the voice again.
Anyway.
Nice.
So, that was fun for Ruben. We gotta keep this thing moving.
Damn, that would be actually pretty cool if they got him for that.
Yeah.
I think it would be.
Wouldn't be cool as going to heaven like Elysium. Like me and Scott saw the other night.
How was it?
Hey, you want to go
I'm
outside?
leaving now after that. Just like, no. Okay.
I really, 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 really like Elysium, but it has so many plot holes that I think it's going to piss a lot of people off.
What's really funny is the fact that John came home and he's like, there's lots of plot holes. And I'm like, did you see the trailer? No.
District 9 was an amazing movie, and I don't think
but that wasn't a story.
There's no plot holes in that movie that
I'm going to say
jump
this.
out at me.
I'm going to, because there are very few. There are some.
I mean, it's a story, but it's not. It's not like...
Of course it's a story.
Well, but it's kind of like...
You mean it doesn't have a really intricate plot?
It's kind of like,
actually...
Oh, fuck. Shaky Cam movie with the underwater soda, and then all creatures came out of the ocean.
I just realized, John, you're like damn near out of camera.
Cloverfield. Yeah. It's like that.
See, look at it. Like half your head is visible. That's it.
But anyway, Elysium.
There we go.
Yeah, so...
Elysium.
Scott likes to look at you.
So Elysium is...
I always look to see if the recorder is like flipping shit on it.
See what you do, Susie.
Way to go.
Just keep talking about stuff I got to edit out, please.
That's right. Way to go.
Welcome to what it sounded like when I was on the podcast for the first 3 years.
Okay. Elysium.
Moo, 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 moo.
I like it, but it feels like higher executives were interfering with it.
Not the first time.
Because it's got some really weird edits. Dominique, my daughter, she went with us, and she... I almost wish she were here because she like fucking laundry listed every hole she could think of, and she even found a couple that I had missed. And and it literally got to the point where I'm kind of going, God, fuck, another one. And there's this other thing going, I'm sitting in the chair just like going, God damn it. Because I'm like counting off going, God damn it.
Sounds like your daughter.
Well, I know, but I'm sitting there thinking going, okay, well, any movie, you have a little bit left to the imagination that you can discuss out. But now I'm 45 minutes into a conversation with her about this, and we're not done. And I don't want to make excuses for a fucking movie anymore. Because if it's not a quick, well, there's probably just that. If I can't say that, and if I have to stop and really fucking think about it, that's a legitimate plot hole.
See, I don't feel like it's a plot hole unless I notice it during. If I notice it during it and it interrupts the ride, then I'm upset by it.
There were a couple that actually did that.
If I don't think about it till after the movie, then it kind of colors my viewing of it. That's not so bad.
There are a couple that happened like that.
Well, the thing about this movie that I think is important to understand, this is an action movie.
Right.
This is District 9 has one big action sequence primarily at the end. Mm-hmm. There might be another action sequence or two. This one is about 30 minutes of introduction and then almost wall-to-wall action after that.
Beautiful CG integration. There were certain points that I couldn't even tell the shit was actually. I actually wondered if they actually flew. Actually just like wire flew something into the goddamn scene.
Right. I honestly never, while watching the movie, I never thought, oh, that looks like it's on green screen like I do on every other movie. They made this movie for about $100 million, and it looks better than like $300 million movie.
This fucking thing is going to make its money back in spades in minimal time, I think.
I don't know about that.
Internationally, I expect it to do well.
It probably will.
American-wise, we have bad taste in this country.
I don't know. I want it to do well because it's fantastic looking.
I love it.
I have a second theory about it, too.
Well, and there's a lot of political threads in it, too.
God. That's why I think that executives got involved and shortened it up.
Well, let me at least throw some of this stuff out.
Right.
It takes place in L.A. in the future, of course. And L.A. is very desert-like, and a lot of the slums they show is very reminiscent of...
Well, that's kind of L.A., so...
Well, the point is it's supposed to be reminiscent of, like, South America.
Right.
We've ruined the place is really what they're getting at.
Yeah.
It's everyone, practically, like, Matt Damon's the primary white person living here.
Right.
And everyone else speaks Spanish, and their goal is to get into Elysium.
So it's basically a little bit different than current L.A.
Yeah. It's late 21st century, and I don't know how that his genetic line managed to stay that Caucasian.
I'm Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. Yeah, and John's right though, because that is one of the weirder things. But
basically, it's the whole Mexico trying to get into the U.S. thing. Except this one's entirely driven by medicine, by the need for things to treat people, and you can only get into Elysium.
Right. So that's going to be like Americans trying to get to Canada.
Yeah.
So,
I love it. Mexicans are trying to get here. We're trying to get to Canada.
Yeah,
Canada is
going up.
Canada has no idea where to go.
The thing about the movie is it basically has two plot devices. I don't even know if we should call them plot devices. Basically, they have a magic bed that you lay in, and it heals you of things. And
like
those are one of the things that you're after.
Right. You want magic bed.
Maybe one of the MacGuffins.
Right.
And the other thing I can't talk about because it's a spoiler.
Right.
But
is it better than magic bed?
It's along the same lines.
Okay.
I could use a magic bed.
Yeah.
The point is, you got to suspend your disbelief for these things.
More than for magic bed.
For them to come up with this class.
But they actually
the bed.
They actually put on display in the movie bits of tech that we either already have and have been testing, or we're trying to work out and are doing prototypes.
Wow.
That I can actually talk about because it's not even that big a deal. You actually see them in the trailers and stuff, but the movie demonstrates them. Military hardware. Back through the 90s, we were testing a new armor, gun, helmet, computer setup. Congress...
That would be something really bad to go off the...
Well, Congress...
To go and haywire if you're
Congress pulled the funding for it, but they did this thing that back in the 90s, we could actually range find a target and set a fuse on the bullets, and they actually were detonating bullets. And they have that in this. And so it actually will run up and...
Don't give away the whole scene.
I'm not... Oh, God, I won't. But it literally, they actually give you those bullets in function, where it actually comes up, gets near the target, and pops open, and it just devastates shit.
They just have a ton of future tech. And you know what they also brought back? The TV wall, except with LED screens.
That was funny. There's a lot of nice stuff in there. The other thing is that I'm also kind of thinking that the story really could have gone through one more rewrite to patch up a lot of stuff like this. But I kind of wonder if it's really Blomkamp on his own trying to make up all the money lost when Microsoft said, they were in pre-production, and then all of a sudden Microsoft went, we don't think he's the guy for this. Because one of the guys in there early on in the movie is wearing a UNSC Marine helmet. And I was laughing, and the armory scene literally looks like the armory out of Halo 2.
I was gonna say, and then they just recycled all the shit they took out of the movie. They recycled the Halo shit.
Exactly,
from,
District 9.
You said Microsoft, and that's what happened.
There's actually an interview with Blomkamp where he said that having the Halo movie pulled out from under him was one of the best things that ever happened to him.
Yeah.
Because he said it made him more confident in doing something original. That he believed in. So.
Yep. And we got District 9 out of it, and I loved
District 9 was amazing. And so, the movie is really good. The CG is beyond what I was expecting. The use of it, believable machinery. For anybody that's a sports car fan, though, understand that they do blow up a Nissan GTR.
Oh.
Have you ever seen the pilot episode, the actual true pilot episode for Venture Brothers?
Oh, yeah.
With the technophile? I think that's Scott. I think Scott's a techno. I think he's a pervy technophile.
Like, a little bit.
Like, he's on top. He's like, get off the nuclear warhead. And he's like, but I'm almost finished.
Yeah.
Well, no, because it's nuclear. Now, if you say fission...
I think it's a really good movie.
Well, Scott, you didn't have to
everyone should give a chance.
Cold fusion, come on, seriously.
Just understand there's a decent chance that you'll notice a plot hole. Right. And it may make you hate the movie.
I just think that it's hilarious that people would care about that. That's like going to see Fast and Furious...
This is nothing.
And 17 and being like, the dialogue was pretty...
I love Fast and the Furious, but this is like... Elysium and District 8 or 9 are intelligent movies.
See, exactly.
And Fast and the Furious is not.
Exactly. That's like if 2001: A Space Odyssey had plot holes, no one would have fucking liked it. It would have never been legendary.
This would be like comparing Fast and the Furious to Elysium would be like comparing Evangelion to Dragon Ball Z.
GoBots, I was going to say, but all right.
Or G Gundam. G Gundam is.
I was going to say
Rose Gundam.
No. But, I like the movie. I liked it enough that I'll still go see it again, because I know a few more people that still want to go. So, I'm willing to go again, but I am aware of some damned holes in it. And I'm hoping for a director's cut to come out with a DVD, with the extension, because the movie it wasn't quite 2 solid hours. It was just shy of 2 hours.
That kind of sounds like maybe somebody got their fingers into it.
Yeah, because it was paced weird because it just kept moving, but it literally just completely dropped.
Yeah, they got their fingers in there.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe the way to put it would be, it's a good movie that's not as good as District 9.
Yeah,
right.
because it still is very good.
That's a high bar.
I still enjoyed the shit out of it, and I will admit that, there are some plot holes, but most movies have them anyway. It's just that this has a couple more than I was expecting out of it. But Blomkamp set his own bar awfully damned high with District 9.
Well, and District 9 is probably one of the best sci-fi movies of the last decade.
Oh, easy.
I mean...
Yeah, because it actually was cerebral. You really
maybe
get something to think
some
about.
of the really good 90s sci-fi, honestly, but...
Yeah. Now, the other thing I do like about this one is it is, I think, the truest representation of modern cyberpunk.
Yeah, it is very cyberpunk.
It is, but it's not like
cyberpunk
old. It's
without
not
feeling 80s.
Yeah, It's not old cyberpunk. It's literally, if we came back and tried to redo the idea right now.
Right, of cyberpunk.
I love that he had like a little... I don't remember the name of the cable, but it looks like an IDE like motherboard cable like on his head.
Dude, the fucking ribbon cable back there. I was laughing my ass off at that too.
I'm just waiting for cyborg parts. I don't give a crap. And John, and splicing. If splicing actually existed, I would all about have some crazy animal parts. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. And I will say, Charlton Copley was in this again. He was the weird gawky dude from District 9.
Oh yeah.
That dude can act.
I like him.
He plays a very good fucking psychopath. I didn't realize it was him for like half the movie, going, he looks a lot like, but he was kind of buffed up enough that I didn't put it together.
Still not used to the South African accent.
That's what makes it work even better, because because you just kind of go, what the fuck is wrong with him?
You're messing up the Australian accent. Oh, it's because we never hear our South Africans speak ever.
No.
Exactly. Well, unless
it's in French.
Well, unless you listen to Dion Word. Yeah. And watch our videos.
We got to keep this moving, guys. We're spending too long.
I think you
know what? Just for that,
we're spending an infinite time talking about the impulses that go into our biology here.
Was that a segue for me?
Wow.
For Bioshock Infinite.
Oh,
you want
okay.
to talk? You started the game. You want to give us a first impression?
I'm giving impressions, but I have to say the one thing that you guys had said before that I forgot about and then was pleasantly surprised by was the random the covers of all the music. Where you're walking around and all of a sudden there's crazy pop songs happening, but they're all integrated into the story, and I'm just like, oh my god, freaking barbershop quartet, singing weird pop music, and they're all like a little floaty, and I was just like, oh my god.
I think the girls just want to have fun accordion.
That kind of blew my mind a little.
That was my favorite thing.
That one he had to point out to me because at the time when I was playing that scene, I was very distracted. Yeah. And for whatever reason...
it took me a little bit too because so much shit happened
I know.
at that moment.
That's...
Real quick, and I'm going to ask you a question, Joey, and we can't say much about it because I don't want to spoil it.
Uh-oh.
Did you go to the bar and go behind and find the guitar?
Yes, that is one of the most heartbreakingly amazing scenes I've ever seen in a video game ever.
I just have to make sure you find it.
Yeah, you have to find that part because it is heartbreakingly beautiful.
That's the problem I have with these games, and one of the reasons why I can't play them, and one of the reasons why I don't do things like playing. I've tried to play Final Fantasy 10 and 7 probably more than 2 handfuls of times, because when it comes Infinite, one of the reasons I feel really frustrated right now is I have to check everything.
Yeah,
I have to check everything.
Luckily,
it gets tiring after a while.
And luckily, in Bioshock Infinite, it's not too bad most of the levels. You can go through everything within a reasonable amount of time.
I don't know that. I don't know what the end result is, and I don't know what affects the end result. So for me,
there's only one ending.
That's fine.
But
I don't
the
care.
thing the only thing that really affects as far as exploration and everything like that is all those audio recordings.
The
voxophones.
Yeah. That was the other thing that was funny too. Oh, and that was the other thing is one of the things I've always loved about Bioshock regardless is the modifications you get to your body.
Yeah.
I forget what they call
plasmoids.
them. They have plasmids in the first one.
These ones are vigors in this one.
Vigors and oh my god, I want this to be real because I really do want there to be salt machines just chilling around everywhere because I literally I'm a saltaholic. It's bad. I probably there's a thing, I don't know, do that nutrition thing where you write down everything you eat and they're wow, you eat enough salt to kill a person to have really bad heart problems, but your levels are normal.
How's that?
Have you
guys seen the I'm sure you have the trailers for the first DLC?
I haven't seen the trailer. I'm not going to watch the trailer. I already bought the season pass.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
I'm pretty excited too. We probably shouldn't tell Susie about it.
No.
She probably hasn't heard about it.
Although my one comment was I wanted to talk about the beach scene just because it reminded me a whole lot of Firefly. Where they go down to that farming planet and River actually gets off the boat for once.
Oh yeah.
And then there's a village and they're all dancing and stuff, and I was just like, oh, this isn't gonna
I love
go
that.
well.
I love that. She's like, dance with me, Booker.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Oh, God, I love that.
Elizabeth.
And he stands there and he's like, it's so horrible because I have one of those brains where a fragment of a piece of sand becomes 10 million thoughts, and so the further I get into this, I haven't finished it all the way, but I accidentally heard most of the end of Castlevania Lord of Shadows, and then I had John explain it to me because you start playing this game, and then the end hits you like nothing you've ever thought would happen ever in a game. The two concepts are just so fucking far apart, it was ridiculous. So the further I get into this game, I'm just like, I can't even imagine what the end of this is going to be like.
You can't really spoil the end to someone in a sentence.
No, you really can't.
You'd have to talk to them for several minutes.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's really... That's the problem, though, is the scenarios in my brain are infinite.
That's appropriate.
Yeah. Damn it! Fuck!
Well, you can tell us more about it as you continue.
I think it's great. I really want there to be salt machines in real life, and the creepy cult, aesthetics of the societies that they come up with in Bioshock are always
I love the casual, old-fashioned racism.
Oh, I was gonna say all the racism.
Wow. Yeah.
All the racism.
But
I like the cult. I just got through doing my first go into the Raven.
oh yeah, the Fraternal Order of I
the
forgot
Raven,
the
which is funny
Crow
because
people.
like I really like the concept and I like
John
the imagery,
Wilkes Booth worshiping motherfuckers.
but I really dislike the fact that everything was covered in bird shit and rotted food.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like.
I would
that
understand. Like, it's obviously it's that area is getting used. Why is there rotting food and bird shit everywhere? Don't they have maids or something like that?
Right.
Doesn't
You know
this
what
cult have maids?
my favorite thing in the entire game so far, even though it's kind of not that effective and I have way more better powers, is when you throw the murder of crows at people.
Oh no, it gets super
It's
effective.
so
One thing that's really fun to do is if you throw the crows at people and then quickly switch to the Devil's Kiss, the fire one.
I've heard that you can
throw
do that.
flaming crows at people. And
Well,
they
I've
do
heard
more
you can
damage.
do that. I have yet to be able to finagle it to finesse it where it works. That's the other thing. I'm playing on the console, and like,
I know because it's my copy.
oh right. Well, I was just being for the statement.
For the people.
I really do like it. I think it probably translates better to PC.
I liked it fine on the console. Like,
But-
and you have to make sure you're all set up if you're going to do any of those combos.
I like it better. I like playing it on Sony stuff better than I did on playing stuff on the Xbox.
Mhm.
But it's really fun, and I love the crows. That's my favorite thing in the
crows are
whole
fun.
game so far.
I like the
is-
crow traps that you can set, like the crow bombs.
Yes.
with corpses.
I
Those are fun.
really, really like the crows.
Okay, so real quick, we went to Tokyo and Tulsa the other weekend, and they had the Mech Warrior pods, and I played a round with Death Jet.
I almost got in one.
Do you know what that is, Scott? No.
It's amazing.
It is a giant pod. You pay $5, and it is covered in buttons and joysticks.
Fuck.
They had dumbed it down to where you only had to use 2 joysticks, so you had a push lever that you pulled forward to start moving forward, and then you pulled it back to stop. And then there was a red button where if you pulled it back, you were supposed to go in reverse, but I never could get that to work. And then you had another controller that had a lot of buttons on it, but it basically was just, they had it dumbed down to where you were just doing shooting and then missiles on top. I chose the Loki unit, which also had jumping. There were 2 buttons that you'd press at top, and then he'd like launch into the air. And the propulsion only lasted for as long as you held down the button. It was a lot of fun, and I came in second place and
Yeah, he
kicked
did.
Death Jet's ass.
Yeah, it was so funny because I was
No,
like, did you guys have fun? And he goes, yeah, John came in second, and I sort of sucked a lot.
Funny enough, like we only killed each other once out of that. So, but it printed out this sheet with just. I wish I had brought it in with me to read you some of the absurd prose it put to the battle, because it basically wrote a story about the battle that took place, and it would
Jesus.
talk. I don't.
Now, is this
Sort
built
of
off
like
of the
Mad Libs, but they filled it in with your stats.
It's kind of.
Now,
They were
is
like
this
such and such a unit was the warrior of the day or whatever.
It's like death just fell to the blaze of Musum's guns. Musum damaged so-and-so. It just was very enthusiastic writing. It was entertaining.
I got all chatty in there.
That just said, yes, I sent John the 4 horsemen of the epoch.
Yes, that was it. He killed me. He sent the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse after me, and I died. So.
Which is great. Oh, my friends were they were my friends from Belly Dance class were the My Little Pony Apocalypse ponies.
Oh, yeah.
The robot chicken thing.
That was a
And
good
so
sketch.
yeah, my friend made this death pony mask. That's crazy. And they're all like, oh, everyone's like, oh, My Little Ponies. And she had the thing, and she has this, God, I love you, Tiffany. She had this little voice recorder thing where you could hide it, and it has a button, and you pressed it, and she copied the clip of it saying, I am death. So she was running around.
That's funny.
It's so cool.
Nicely done.
Oh, God, it was so cute.
But
I love them all.
yeah, if I found out these Mech Warrior pods were like $500, $600 a piece, we would be giving up and buying this.
I gotta ask about the gameplay on this. Do you know what it was built off of? Was it like MWO Mercs, like the new Mech Warrior Online
It's an
stuff?
old game.
It's
It had
old
old
graphics?
graphics.
Okay.
It was fluid, but it had old graphics. We only got to choose between 4 mechs. I went with a Loki. They also had a Thor, a
Tell me they had a Mad Cat.
Mad Cat.
And probably a Timberwolf?
No.
Oh.
Fenris? No. Not Fenris. I can't remember the fourth
I don't
one.
give a fuck. If you're buying Crazy Robot Pod game, then we're getting the sit in the Jeep Jurassic Park shoot dinosaurs one.
That thing.
And I will never come out of it, ever.
I remember that thing.
There's dinosaur
pretty
poop
awesome.
in that.
I hit my head on the thing going into it, which was kind of embarrassing.
You
And the guy's like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "No, I'm fine." I'm like, "God, head, stop spitting."
You totally
would have
stormtroopered that shit.
Totally paid so much to see that.
The problem was I was dressed up as you from Persona 4, and my hair kept covering my eyes, so I was really losing depth perception quite a bit.
Oh, see, me and
Nice.
Maddie dressed up as Ciel and Sebastian from... God, that was so much fun, because nobody knew who I was, and I kept messing with them all weekend. But people
fucking
kept...
Vulture?
Oh, okay.
People kept pointing at John and being like, "You," and I'd look at him and I'm like, "You," and he's like, "What?" I'm like, "You, go, turn the fuck around." And people be like, "Oh, hey, dude, you're awesome." Oh, we actually saw a lot of Persona
Yeah,
cosplay people there that were.
that's fun.
Speaking of cons, though, we're gonna be going to GlitchCon soon, and I just wanted to point this out. It's in Arkansas. I'll post the deets on the page, but. I'm actually a guest there this time, and I'm doing panels and stuff, and I might make John do some things as well.
Okay, Death Jest has a great comment in here about the mech pods.
Read it.
He says, I paid 2 tickets to field an Atlas. Hold on, let me get this thing over here. He says, I paid two tickets to field an Atlas, and they put everyone else on one team against me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Giant killer. I know exactly what that fucking was.
That is awesome.
5-on-1.
God.
How did you do?
Sexual.
I gotta know.
I
Did they wipe your ass up, I guess, or please tell me you took at least one of them down, but I don't know what they were driving, so. Oh, something. 14 kills, he won.
Wow.
Oh, shit, see, that's good.
Oh, shit, son.
I would love to own these things,
Oh,
but
he single-shotted a couple of them, too. Oh, well done. Fuck, I wish I'd known about that.
What is John doing? What are you doing?
I am looking up MechWarrior pods to see how much they cost. Anyway,
I'd want to know where they are, because I gotta go fucking play that shit.
It's fine.
No, of course not.
I mean, it's not about food. We just have to find the right omen and the elder sign and summon the great one, and
What?
he'll pay for it.
He'll pay for food. Cthulhu will feed us all.
Yeah.
So, is he gonna come and fire you for this bullshit, too? Because that was terrible. I know I lack the authority.
So I've
Just kill me now.
I've been playing Elder Sign Omens on my tablet a whole shitload, and it is super, 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 super awesome. It's based off of a Fantasy Flight board game of the same title that we play a lot on
Board
Gamer
game?
Night. It's basically how I describe it is it's Cthulhu Yahtzee.
Okay, then. I am already interested.
Yes, like
Nicely
you
said.
have a bunch of dice that have different emblems on them, and you all play investigators, and each investigator has their own little. This is the board game I'm talking about. The tablet game is the same game, but you play it solo, so you control all four investigators. But everybody plays an investigator, and everybody has little special abilities on their. All right, John, how much is the MechWarrior pod?
Well, there's a set of them for sale for $25,000.
$25,000.
Well, it was a nice dream while it lasted.
Yeah.
Divide that shit by 4.
No, dude. The point
$25,000.
is invest and then rent them out. And if
Right.
people want to come over and
My
play,
app is still running.
they're going to have to pay you money to get
Yeah, no,
in.
investing would be great, but you have to have $25,000 to invest.
Nobody
Well,
can
we
give
don't
you a
need to
loan for
eat.
that
It's
shit.
fine.
I'll tell you what, if my HeroClix selling business gets me
Just takes
25 grand,
If you spend 25 grand on something like that, I will. Oh my god.
He will fucking kill you.
I will.
To be fair, that's per unit. That's actually not that bad.
6,000.
Yeah.
I was looking for under $1,000 per unit.
Yeah.
And I was looking for someone who would sell me one at a time so I could buy one a year. And
Okay.
I will wear
think-
you like a
think-
patchwork
just-
skin suit.
Just so you have a sense of perspective here, just go back to how much that giant console for Steel Battalions cost.
It doesn't matter.
Cthulhu Yahtzee, motherfuckers.
Let's continue on
All
with
right.
Joey, back to you.
Anyway, you pick your investigator, and each one of them have different abilities.
Shake on.
Are you done yet, Susie? Are you done?
Okay.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're done? Yeah. Are you sure, dear? Are you sure you're done?
No.
Okay.
We're going to go for the Stewie side of this.
Apparently.
No, maybe. I don't know. Possibly.
Cool.
But anyway, Cthulhu Yahtzee. It's awesome. But you're all investigators. Some shit's going down in a museum, and you have a bunch of adventures you get to go on, and they're all on this little board. And basically, you have to finish certain tasks that are involved in the adventure, and you do this by rolling dice and matching the symbols. So it's kind of like Cthulhu Yahtzee, but it's hard to explain why it's so much fun.
Do you play it by yourself, or
on the tablet you play it by yourself? On board game you play it with up to I think 8 people or something like that. You can play it
free.
Well, most people.
No, it's $2.99, but it's well worth $2.99.
Plus, most people with tablets play with themselves.
How much
anyway.
is the board game?
The board game is like
Scott.
25, I think.
Oh, just 25
You really
bucks?
Yeah,
need to
it's
get
a
laid.
cheap board game. Like,
Nice.
It's it might be
Board games are
29.
never cheap.
I know.
Yeah, it's a pretty short play. Like
I've been wanting to
usually
say that
takes
for
like
4 podcasts.
1 to 2 hours to play at max.
Honestly, I don't think it's really that bad.
But you're trying to defeat an ancient one. Like you get to pick your ancient one at the beginning of it too. And if you basically you have this doom track and different things cause a doom track to fill up. And as soon as it's filled up, you have to. In the board game, that's one thing that sucks about the tablet version is you don't get to fight the ancient one. But on the board game, you actually get to fight the ancient one, and usually you're gonna lose.
Usually.
Almost always.
I was gonna say, how is there a chance that you won't?
Cthulhu's.
Cthulhu,
Oh.
you can't. I swear to God, Cthulhu's impossible to beat on the board game.
You will
I don't think-
Cthulhu's.
Yeah, you will
You should
Cthulhu's against them.
You'll Cthulhu's, did you just say?
That's what she said.
Wow.
She's been saying it for a few minutes
Yeah.
now.
But the
Cthulhu'sers.
I'm just gonna pick up this table and hit you all with it.
the tablet game.
Let me at least close the drink first. Hold on.
Okay.
The tablet game is really
go.
fucking difficult. Like I've only recently began to get the strategy down enough to win on it. And I don't know why it's more difficult than the board game. Maybe the dice probability is more screwed up than actual dice. But it's really been hard to beat. But it's still been fun.
Well,
I've
I know-
still wasted a lot of time on it.
Actually, the dice
Wanna
probability
play?
is, I'll bet a lot of it, because I remember reading programmers trying to write the algorithms for dice, and it sucks
It really
balls.
does. Like because you can get pure probability, but that's not what you're always getting with with dice.
Yeah,
But
dice.
it's
there's so
very
many
it's a
weird-
very pretty game too. Like it's one of the prettiest. Like there's a lot of animations for different things and stuff like that. But,
I want to play.
and they also have 3 expansions for it that are all $2.99 a piece. You get extra adventures and extra
The
investigators and ancient
things with the
ones.
stuff,
That
and,
sounds like a lot of fun.
and they make the noise, and the one with the guy,
The thing.
Oh, nice.
That's this
Yeah, see,
thing.
it's very pretty.
Ooh.
Let me see if that's on iOS too.
I think it is. But it also, like, if you have a game that's in progress, like, it will always save your spot in it,
Cool.
which is nice. 'cause
Yeah,
the
fuck,
game goes
seriously.
on for a little bit long.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
It goes on for a little.
bit.
a little bit.
I
So-
hate apostrophes.
So really quick, before the show and the other day, 3 out of the 4 of us played some Dragon's Crown.
Yeah, we did.
Don't be too so excited, gang.
Hold on. Woot.
I really like Dragon's Crown for all its absurdity.
There's
It
lots
is
of
absurd.
boobies.
There's lots of boobies.
There's lots of boobies.
That reminds me of something that I was going to tell you.
There's
about.
lots and
Yeah,
lots.
it does
and
remind
lots
me of old Golden Axe.
It actually, when we first started playing it, like the narration of it and the fact that it's all sort of extra artistically stylized in its own original way, reminded me of the game with the fox that you play. Remember that fox game that we played that was a 2D side-scroller?
Oh, you're thinking of Dust and Elysian Tale?
Yeah.
I was going to
That's
say
a-
level 5 Pomeranian, but,
Yes!
I will never forget
It
that.
is animated
God.
stuff, but it's by Vanillaware, who did like Odin's Sphere and Murmasa the Demon Blade. And all these games are gorgeous. Like, their art style, I think, is amazing. This one happens to be more boob-focused, but I'm all right with it.
Well, it was great today, too, because you would think, big boobs would get it. DOA happened, like, how long ago? But all of a sudden today, John's playing right before the podcast, Joey, and I don't remember which one of you it was, but you're like, she's rubbing a skeleton on her boobs. And I was just like, excuse me? And I went in there and looked, and sure
enough,
the witch had this sort of...
I swear to God, none of them have nipples, because there's as much boob as humanly possibly can be exposed without there being a nipple, but there should be a nipple there.
Somewhere. John said the exact same thing. I concur with both of you.
Yeah.
But the game is fun.
Or some areola or something.
Yeah, there needs to be some areola somewhere.
I really like being the Amazon, because of course that's who I picked to play initially, because it just makes sense. And it's really funny because when you pick the character, you get a couple of different options about what they look like. And the Amazon's like blonde, platinum blonde, ash blonde, cherry blonde, blonde, brunette. And that was it.
Nice.
That was like nice.
Like super ultra blonde.
Well, it's crazy because like her boobs aren't as big as the witch's boobs, but she has like muscles on top of her muscles that have muscles on them with also a muscle with also boobs. Yeah. But she has a really cool power where she has this giant axe. And she's really, really strong and powerful, but she's just a tad bit slow. But for one of her super moves, you can put the axe down into the ground and just beat the shit out of people with your bare hands, which is
with your fists,
super
bare knuckle that
babies.
shit.
It's a really fun game. So far, I played the Amazon, the Elf, and the warrior guy, the knight, whoever it is.
Just so you know, if you play two-player, only one person gets to go through the tutorial.
Yeah.
Because John was like, and I'm like, it's fine, I'll figure it out.
There are some annoying aspects where, like, only one of you can go in the store at a time. So, like, last night I was playing with 4 people, and we were all drinking, and it was very difficult to buy and sell and level up your guy.
Are you sure you're done? It's
that's not a good... It doesn't seem like a good drinking game.
Because, like, there's a skill tree in the game. Like, you get a class tree and you get a common tree. Right. And, like, you have to go to the Adventurers Guild to level up, so that was a pain in the ass.
You know what does look like a good drinking game is Jump Kick that you posted.
Dive Kick?
Or Dive Kick, yeah.
I am buying the shit out of Dive Kick. We're going to play that.
That looks like fun.
You guys know about Dive Kick?
No.
Nope.
It's a 2D fighting game where the only move you can make is like a jump diving kick.
There are only 2 buttons.
There's like 2 buttons.
There's jump, kick.
So you can just do jump kicks.
And you have 1,000 hit points. Each character has 1,000 hit points.
Right.
And each dive kick does 1 million damage.
Right. so if you get hit once, your guy's dead.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's basically like you're just trying to screw the other person into,
We should incorporate the mustache game and dive kick at the same time.
Oh
it's like I
we
really
would probably be all completely dead of alcohol poisoning.
The guy who's publishing it. Like, he did a really funny bit on the Giant Bomb PAX panel that I posted to the Carousel a long time ago, but it's like, I don't know, 15 minutes or so in where he starts the pitch. He's like, okay, so we can all agree that all modern fighting games are crap, right? So, and he's like, so basically what we do is we take out all the bullshit on learning the moves and this and this and that, and just add in that last part where everyone has a tiny bit of life and you're trying to frantically survive.
Nice.
So it's basically the last part of every fighting game. Yeah. Like where you're trying to just jump across each other. And
pretty much.
But it's going to release for almost everything. I don't know if they're releasing it for Xbox or not, but I know it's coming to...
My favorite part about it was where they're giving you your combat grades at the end, and one of them was jumping, or diving, kicking. It's like diving, A, kicking, A. Then it's funny.
I guess they all have like a special move or something too. Right. Like one guy sits down.
Yeah, one guy can sit down and dodge a kick.
Yeah. I don't remember what the others do, but all the characters are ridiculous because you have your 2 main characters, Dive and Kick.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Ryu and
with that, like, they look like 90s hip hop rejects.
Oh Jesus!
But like preppy 90s hip hop rejects. You have these guys where
that's an improvement. Somehow.
There's this one enemy where I think what he does is he moves fast, but every time he wins around, his head gets larger, so he's a larger target.
Oh shit!
They have this werewolf-looking thing that is evidently a mother.
What?
You'll just have to go.
Yeah. There's a fat guy that makes breakfast. For one of his special moves. It's really weird.
I don't understand people anymore.
Okay.
I just don't.
Now I need to be a part of this.
What's going to happen is I'm going to buy this game, and we're going to throw a party around us playing this game.
Yeah,
and
we're going to do a tournament.
The sad part is for the PAX panel, they had these custom-made controllers where it was just these two giant buttons. I would love to own some of those.
Only we can have this party as long as it doesn't have a stupid name like Burrito Gate.
Burrito Gate was a wonderful name. I told her I wanted to cook barbacoa for everyone and do like a bunch of burrito stuff and then make you guys bring the extras and we would call it Burrito Gate.
For Halloween. And I was
Sounds like a
I'm
great
not
idea.
saying for Halloween, I just said in October.
You said in October, and you said Burrito Gate. So I'm like, Watergate? Is he talking about what? How does burrito and gate incorporate those two things together? And I'm thinking, John doesn't watch football. He doesn't even know what tailgating is probably because he's so...
I didn't even get that.
How many things can you put together that have a reference for the word burrito and gate? So
Damn it.
It's in October. And so apparently I was like, okay, we can have a party. And we will give it a theme name. But I have to be able to understand what's going on. I refuse. What's Burrito Gate?
It sounds like a good idea to me.
Our dive kick party is going to be called Dive Kick.
Yeah.
And it will be amazing. And I don't know. We'll be sexist and no females will be allowed. I'll throw it while you're at Dragon Con. And
so hot.
I'll show up anyway.
I think it comes out like next week, doesn't it?
It
comes out in the next week or two.
I'll have to look it up. Before I forget, because I did forget earlier.
My dick is still bigger than all of yours.
Don't want to forget again. Anybody who's curious, John, you'll be happy to know this, I think. Space Team has finally been released on Android.
Yeah, I saw that.
Hey,
And it talks across to iPads and iPhones.
Isn't that the game that you only play if you hate yourself, though?
Well,
It's just frustrating as hell.
Yeah, basically what it is
I thought we made you play it, where you have to press the
you made
weird
me
buttons.
play it.
Oh, I know we made you play it, but I thought we made Joey play it.
No, I didn't play it.
You did?
No, I did not.
Okay. Basically what it amounts to is you've got a...
He says you need to shotgun a couple of Red Bulls. Is what Brian says.
Yeah, he's right, because I'm yawning my ass off. Yeah. But I've been...
He has 5-hour energy, Brian. But
which is no good. I already had it, and it's not helping.
It makes me feel like I'm
as per the usual.
Scott is made of caffeine. If you cut him open, he would probably bleed chocolate-covered coffee beans.
Okay, guys, we're running pretty long.
All right, let's go. Emails.
Pretty long.
I'll explain you the game later.
Okay.
Just real quick, folks, for future reference, you can now call in and leave us a voicemail that we will play on the air and respond to live. Our number is 918-236-6070.
Unless it sucks, then we won't play it.
Yeah. We'll still play it.
Yeah, we'll play it.
No.
Kidding me? Have you heard this cast?
No.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we do stupid shit.
Hey, maybe your part.
We're not known for quality.
I'm good. You guys.
Carousel, not known for quality.
Is going to kill everyone.
We're about quantity, not quality on
that
the
should
podcast.
be on the web.
No, we're not about quantity either, really.
That should be on the webpage.
It's not about quality.
The Carousel podcast. Not known for quality.
Okay. So, our first and only email, and you can email us at carouselpodcast@gmail.com.
Is it Carousel or the Carousel?
It's just Carousel.
Carousel Podcast.
Don't confuse people, Scott.
Yeah.
I'm asking because I wasn't
sure. It's because the website's confusing, because I registered the
because
Carousel
you're very
podcast
confusing. It's
instead
all your
of
fault.
Carousel Podcast, because I'm dumb.
Yep.
So, our good friend Ian said...
Yes! I was like, let it be Ian.
To the great Johnny Puns Musum. Scoticus Aurelius Maximus angriest when drinking a hot pot of coffeeist.
that was a long one.
Sometimes.
The ghost with the most.
Indeed.
You never get a long name out of him.
That's fine. That one's perfect.
Captain Steve Rogers.
Captain.
But he writes it like Captain In, you know,
Yeah,
like in the Game Masters.
I loved that show.
Nice.
I love that show and don't ever want to watch it as an adult.
No,
See how
it'll ruin
horrible
it.
Will be, yeah.
It was like the Zelda cartoons for me.
I have the comics. He meets Samus.
Oh, does he really?
Mm-hmm.
Does he make out with Samus?
She hits on him.
Oh, good.
But
there we go.
Yeah.
It makes him uncomfortable.
Hey, Lloyd.
Ah.
Okay, reading the email.
Debbie Dystopia. and yo, my name is Randy. Fuck your puns. Get in the cage.
In the cage. Mow.
I forgot about that.
We need him for that, though.
Yeah.
He does. He's the only one. He's what he said. He's the only one that can do the bow.
Congrats on episode 100. Been here for all of them. And damn, have you guys given me a lot of entertainment. I can't wait for the next 100. Well, thank you, sir.
No shit.
Last episode, that cage. You guys had me cracking up. I vote for Saints Row.
Ha!
Dystopia, 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 dystopia. Now since you're
I'm
all
already
wasted,
too tired. I can't
questions.
do this.
Unfortunately, not even drinking tonight.
Yes, we are all the time, always.
We're always drunk.
Sure.
Yeah,
We be drinking
that's
all
right.
the time.
Not known for quality. Drunk.
Yeah.
1. Hunger Games versus Final Fantasy VII. Which dystopia is better?
Wow.
Like, are we
Wow.
talking in terms of, like, how bad the world is?
Or
how
which,
much we enjoy the
which,
world,
or which
how-
one would you rather live in
live in?
between the two? I'd have to go Final Fantasy VII.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, Final Fantasy VII seems like a much more pleasant place to
Yeah.
live.
Like
When nature gives you magic powers to combat evil
Right.
corporations.
And
Just for the off
you can
chance
walk around outside with a giant sword, and nobody bats an eye. Like I want to live in
Exactly.
that world.
Titus
Raise
could-
chocobos. Man.
Titus could be smart enough to talk and fight people for me. That would be amazing.
Honestly, just for the off chance that I might be able to beat the shit out of a dude with a motorcycle.
Right, that too.
And you'd see Sephiroth coming a mile away. You'd be like, well, that
Whoever
city
it
just
was.
blew up. I'm going to walk over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And somehow, dude with a mile-long
Vincent.
fucking sword shows up, and you have a chance of killing him.
Right.
Pointy elf shoes.
Yeah. No, Hunger Games
Machine
sounds like a
gun
much
arm.
worse place to live.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Sparky! Every time I see Cyborg now, I don't give a shit. It doesn't matter. That's all I can think of.
Number 2, Whopper Jr. versus spending $1.19 somewhere else at a fast food restaurant.
Whopper Jr. That's my.
I've never
Patrick
had
Stewart
one, but I really
impression.
want one now.
Nope.
Oh, you never
No.
had a Whopper Jr.?
I don't think so.
No, Whopper Jr.'s are great.
I'll
I'll go
order
Burger
Whoppers.
King is best.
I will go somewhere
of
else.
the big fast food places.
Shut
can't-
your whore mouth.
Oh no. What's yours? What's yours? If you say McDonald's, I'll kick you in the teeth.
God, no.
That's just where he eats all the time.
Well,
It's
right.
only in,
That's it.
it's McDonald's, really. You can't see it. It's very, very finely written in the corner of the window. It's in case of emergency.
See, no, I won't even do that. Like, I'll breakfast and that's it. There. Like
Their
that's not
breakfasts
gonna wait.
they're actually decent.
No, but where's your go-to, Scott? For I'm talking main fast food places. I'm
Among
not
them-
talking specialty good ones.
Oh, I know. I
Fat
wouldn't-
guys.
It had been Jack in the Box for a while.
Ugh.
Yeah, I like
Jesus
that one.
Christ.
I don't like their burgers.
I'm not huge on their burgers. Their breakfast stuff's really good though.
Yes,
No,
it is.
I
The
don't-
breakfast
Their
shit is
tacos
good.
are good. If
Tacos are good too. If you're
The
wasted.
tacos
Hell yeah.
surprised me because I just thought it'd be absolute shit, but they're actually not
They're
bad.
not.
Well, the
they're
thing
good.
is, they don't even be tacos. They're just like,
We're
we
gonna
bought
deep
some
fry
taco
meat.
shells. We're just gonna throw our hamburger shit in here and then fry it.
Yeah.
Yep.
What
And
I'm all
away.
about. That's great.
Whatever, just give us money. Fuck off. That used to be my thing, but as of late, for whatever reason, I've been like finding the new Whataburgers and going there.
Yeah, I like
Because the
Whataburgers.
new ones,
Yeah,
the
are
older
good.
ones are sometimes
Kinda
meh,
sketchy.
but the new ones they've put in, because there's one not far from the house that's new.
Yeah.
I'm thawing
And
out steak.
Anytime I go to my folks, it's right down the street
Dude,
from them.
honey
So
barbecue chicken strip sandwich. Fuck yeah.
We should
Yeah.
not be talking about this.
I know.
right
I
I
now.
want
so
food
want a
right
burger so bad. I haven't
I
had
know.
a burger.
I was gonna say John does not need to be. You guys are like, you're like waving the fucking
been
burning
weeks.
spoon in front of him right now. So let's
been
just
weeks.
move on,
All right.
sir.
All right.
It's all right.
but
John.
yeah, I would.
It's okay.
I'd have to go Whataburger.
Whataburger's
Don't
good.
think about it.
Number
Plus,
three.
it's fun. It's my favorite one for making fun of the name.
Right.
Twataburger.
I want Whataburger. 3.
Right.
Musim delivering his puns in front of people of Egypt right now
That's dangerous.
versus Musim delivering his puns in front of a NAACP rally in the 1960s.
Oh wow.
In the 60s wouldn't be as dangerous, I don't think, because Egypt. Like,
I think that in Egypt it wouldn't matter because they wouldn't understand what the fuck he was saying.
Yeah, that's very
So,
true.
definitely the race riots.
What if they had a translator though?
Well,
I think somehow.
well, let's assume that the language
horribleness
works.
of them
Let's assume
would
the-
carry
yeah.
over.
Let's
It's
assume the
universal.
language works. Period.
Right.
And given
Would I be making puns about the situation?
Well, I'm pretty sure that eventually, I think the problem is that you would eventually draw the attention of the Pharaoh and you would die.
He said modern day.
It's unpharaoh.
He said modern. Ha!
He's writing that down.
Scared the dog.
With your bad.
Okay, so next one. Dexter in real life versus no Dexter in real life.
But there,
I love Dexter's Laboratory, so I say Dexter in real life.
I would be all right with the serial killer
Dee Dee was cute.
killing pedophiles and crooks and thieves. So long as I don't live in the same town as them.
I wanted to be
No shit.
Dexter.
They'd have to live a
so
public
long.
life.
That was my nickname for my family, or my family's nickname for me.
Was Dexter.
Because that and the fact that I had all like the same outfit. I would have like 15 I still do to this day. People are like, did you wear those pants yesterday? I was like, I have 6 pairs of these pants.
I just really
I
like
never
that.
have to.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that. I have 3 of the same black button-down collar shirt.
Okay.
That's right now. So yeah.
I have 3 black polos.
I would say Dexter in real life, but how would you even know?
I was gonna say, on the promise that he's killing horrible people,
Yeah.
I'll say real life.
Yeah. Okay, so next one. Number 5.
It might be John.
Root beer float
It's not
versus
that bad.
milkshake. Note, Susie will be wrong no matter what.
It's true. It's true.
Saints Row.
Wow.
Okay, what were the options again?
Root beer float or milkshake.
I'm going to go with steak.
Fucking dude, that's not even fair.
Root beer float, hands down.
Yeah. I will know if it's like if I get an Oreo milkshake, then the Oreo milkshake.
But see, are we talking just
Hot summer day, root beer float. Any other time.
good,
Okay.
just a decent evening?
What about
Yeah.
what about a root
Milkshake
beer float
with-
versus just a plain milkshake?
Fuck plain milkshake, root beer float.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
what about if it was a
Like it's a
milkshake?
really good vanilla.
What if it was a
Well, see,
milkshake?
the way I do it, I don't do root beer floats anyway. I'll usually just go to Sonic or wherever and get them to do a Dr. Pepper float
Yeah, I
and then
like
run it through a
Dr. Peppers,
blender.
Milkshake with
that-
root
that's
beer
good too.
flavored ice cream.
So
too.
since I don't generally do it, wait, what?
Milkshake made of root beer flavored ice cream.
Is there such a thing?
Then you have the best of both
There you
worlds.
Yeah.
I'll just take some root beer flavored ice cream and then put it into Pora and fry it.
Hey, wait.
Let me die.
Let you die in peace.
I'll pull a bullshit non-answer. Big red float.
No.
I still say
Orange
steak.
Those are good. It's like creamsicle.
Number 6.
Yeah.
Scott explaining to the angry Egyptian mob from earlier that Musim's puns are not really bad on, or are not really that bad on a pot of coffee, versus Scott explaining the birds and the bees to a close family relative after drinking 2 energy drinks. I want
I'm
Scott.
gonna go birds and
Ian,
bees. To
you need to come by. We will
I'm
buy
pretty sure
you
I've
dinner.
seen Scott explaining sex to his daughter on multiple occasions, and it was very entertaining.
Especially because she'd come around and be like, Dad, I mean, really? Let's talk about it. No,
No,
that's
because
not
That's
right.
Susie's impression of Dominique's about 8-year-old self too. So okay, I probably didn't know her when she was 8. We'll say 10-year-old.
Let's see.
She's a very intelligent
No, you knew
child.
you knew Dominique when she was 8.
She's also a female, and therefore is
When
She,
did we even meet? Was it 2001?
automatically win and
It was
2/3 less stupid than boys.
2001 or
2/3.
2000.
It's been over a decade.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they have
Very.
germs.
They do.
Yeah.
Because basically it happened twice. Because I ran into you at Roadkill. But then somewhere along the line, because of Melissa, it was like a reintroduction, even though we'd already met.
Yeah. Oh, it was that. It was that Jack and Julie events. Used to go to those. Revolution and Blue Monday.
Says events.
As interesting as how you guys met is, I'm sure that we have more questions.
It was adorable. it was even
Okay, so which one?
adorable.
I'll take the birds and the bees thing
I do
again.
too.
What kind
That
of
was,
events?
see, that was
yeah, you don't.
It
get
was
to
kind of a
know that.
miserable failure because all I was doing was having to either like awkwardly, uncomfortably expound on what they'd already run her through in sex ed at school, or debunk
See,
something
that's
they
what
got
was fun.
dumb or wrong, or God help me when I had to go through fetish. When I had to explain that
What a
shit.
fetish.
Okay.
You're like, here's
Oh
a
my
little.
God.
This is a little tiki idol from Africa.
Well, no, sitting there kind of going, okay, sweetheart, some people like floggers, and she's like, God damn it, why am I having to go through this? Yeah,
with your dad,
yeah,
who looks like somebody from Tears for Fears. It's just not.
I'm pretty sure when Dominique, let me see, how long will you live, Scott?
Let's
say you live another 30 years, and Dominique's like 40 or 50.
My family, I'm guaranteed to live to age 90.
You're still going to look younger than her.
Have you ever seen?
I don't know how, because you live off McDonald's and Dr. Pepper
and 5 Hour Energy,
which didn't do shit, by the
coffee
way.
beans.
5 Hour Energy, 5 Hour Lie. Fucking
it's
bullshit.
all the virgin blood that he bathes in.
Anyway, so next one.
Which isn't really a lot nowadays.
No. I don't understand this next one, so you guys will have to explain it to me.
I was going to say, it's...
Edward Snowden traitor versus Edward Snowden hero.
We're getting political.
Oh.
Hero. But we're political.
Okay, Edward Snowden is the Russian that we think is just an American kid who ratted us out.
Isn't that the WikiLeaks guy?
One of them.
That got asylum or whatever?
No, you're thinking of
Is
Bradley
he the guy
Manning.
who...
Well, you're mixing Bradley Manning and Edward
He's the guy
Snowden.
that ratted out the NSA for
wiretapping.
For wiretapping, basically, everybody's phone calls.
Yeah. And the thing is I made the crack.
I'm all right with it.
Yeah, I actually made the crack of, when Russia got involved, I went, what if he's just going home?
Yeah,
and conveniently enough, a week and a half after I said it, Russia went, well, we can't find a country for him. Even though they were still going, we'll take him.
Right.
And so he's staying in Russia. I'm going, fucking called it.
No, what really sucks about that is for all the things to kind of ruin your whole life over is but you're like, I believe that, this blah, blah, blah. And then I believe in freedom and blah, 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 blah. And then move to fucking Russia. That's gotta suck.
Right.
Well, again, I know. Now, strictly as a jackass move because there's nobody has any working proof on any side of it.
Yeah.
The simple fact of the matter is that's assuming he's not already from there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But again, now I'm just fucking around because I can't say, I can't prove bullshit on that.
No,
So.
that's the horrible part about all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep it moving.
Right.
On steak.
Own Boardwalk and Park Place versus own all the railroads.
Dude, Boardwalk and Park Place, I think. You have more likelihood of someone hitting those railroads.
Monopoly reference.
But, when people hit the Boardwalk or Park Place, it's such a good payday.
Yeah.
I just and there's the prestige of owning both of those at the same time.
Okay, there's prestige, but I'm going with her on that. I'm going to say railroad because you've got greater.
I don't feel like anybody ever lands on those when I own them.
Oh no,
That's because you own them.
We're talking about.
No, my daughter has beaten the shit out of me in that game before on railroads. Rotten little shit. She fucking gets them every time.
We are talking about 4 properties versus 2 properties.
Right.
I do like.
You're more likely to hit.
I like the idea of Boardwalk and Park Place much better than the railroads, but I think the railroads would probably do you more.
That's always one of my first
railroads
goals
have
is
done a
to
lot
get the
better.
big 2 and that nobody else gets to be the dog piece because I will kill you.
Yeah.
Mine.
Infrastructure, utility
You
stuff.
can be the car. I don't give a shit. I get to be the
I
dog.
wonder
Now
if they
I
have
kinda wanna go
Batman
play that
Monopoly.
again. They do.
I want the railroads just so I can pretend to be a hobo.
They've done
riding the
Star
rails
Wars
with my
Monopoly.
stick and my
Yeah.
See, but then you would be like a prince hobo because you own
Back,
the railroad.
back
Yes,
in the,
but
back
nobody
in the
would know.
70s.
Right.
It would be like Aladdin.
Yeah.
Nice. Apparently, it's a very poor memory, but apparently there was a brief run of a Super Friends kind of thing of Monopoly back in the 70s. I can only imagine how horrible that must have
That
been.
sounds kind of cool.
They have an Adventure Time Monopoly right
Yeah.
now.
As I said, they did
It's
Star
World
Wars.
of Ooh, and
See, that would have been cool. They did. So there's that. There was a Star Wars one. I swear I've seen a
Star Wars
Batman one.
Game of Life was way better.
Yeah,
than-
really?
Yeah, they had. It was it was Jedi Academy that you were going through.
Okay.
In the game.
I never saw that one. All right.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Okay. So next,
I would have like, okay, that's
so next
cute.
one.
Nice.
Live in a Groundhog Day of your own.
Choosing, I guess. Or?
Of your own.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Versus do not live in a Groundhog Day of your own. I guess he's saying.
Either I get to pick what Groundhog Day I keep reliving, or
Or you get something random you have to deal with.
Like regular life.
oh god.
Well, hypothetically,
I don't wanna
if
trust
it's Groundhog Day, then you don't actually get to pick it. You would still figure it out eventually.
Groundhog Day.
Sort of.
I don't want Groundhog's Day to happen to me.
Who named something Punxsutawney Phil?
Here's the problem with Groundhog Day, because like on the one hand I start thinking I could start a game and finish it and just go through all my games, but it wouldn't work like that.
No,
all my data would
get
be
erased
reset.
Would reset every fucking time.
See, that's hell for John.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it's a 40-hour game that you will never be able to beat.
Yeah. Or even better, it'll be a 26-hour game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you get to the same spot.
You see it building up. You see it building. You see it building. Going, yeah. Ah! I just wake up the next morning. The alarm's going off.
Now my ears are bleeding.
Yeah, that hurt.
Sorry.
That hurt.
Yeah, no, that's gamer hell,
It
man.
burns us.
That's bad.
That's no shit.
Yeah.
Because all the good games, save for precious few, are
all longer than
about
20 hours.
yeah,
you know?
20 plus.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with my own choosing. Just because then I can, it's mine. I do what I want.
Groundhog Day of my
I do what I want.
I don't know. It would have to be like something like I would have to, if it were going to be something I'd have to pick, at the risk of getting burned out on it, I'd have to go with something my own choosing. That way I could get something like romantic or something like that and just keep reliving that.
I mean, I guess Bill Murray did learn piano on it, and piano requires muscles and muscle memory.
Well,
So that would kind of insinuate that you could do things like diet and work out and learn martial arts. or
Right.
things
well,
like
he
that.
never. Well, he kept eating horribly because every next morning he'd reset.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So really, all it was is he memorized.